Beeps. Many beeps. I should turn this off, right? Too many beeps. Let's see. I decided to start early because, like, that way I can do all of this bullshit. Because we never, like, say anything for the first half hour generally. And this way, we get all the shit out of the way. It's just because I'm waiting now. I'm waiting on people. I did learn that I can, like, force YouTube to watch ads, which is nice. Oh, Cody says hi. Hi, Cody. We're just waiting on people. Should move this so I can read chat. Like, chat's important. Guess. Like, if you're gonna have an interactive thing, you might as well be able to, like, read what people are saying. We're waiting on Brett, and then we're just gonna talk about the interview. I feel like we should have, like, a game where every time someone says the word interview, we have to take a shot. I don't know if that would work. Let's find out. Look, everybody's saying hi. We wouldn't make it to the end. Dude, we wouldn't make it 10 minutes. So Brett said to give him 5, which generally means, like, I gotta poop. So, yeah. I like that intro. I don't know why. Oh, look, it's Brett.
Can you hear me?
I can. I assume they can.
Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Like they can. Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay, perfect.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I started all of this up, and as soon as I started up all the streaming software, literally everything updated. So I lost all my camera settings, my mic settings. I lost everything.
That's been happening to me too. I had computer problems and I had to clear a bunch of stuff out. And then now when I log back in, it's like I have to download the updates and
that sucks. I hate computers.
Me too.
So we came up with a plan.
Okay.
We're going to talk about this interview, right? Because everybody's been waiting for it for so long and it finally came out and people have questions. And I feel like every time someone says the word interview, we have to take a shot.
How about a sip of beer?
Okay. Probably going to die real quick.
We might die.
I'll just I got some Pepsi here, or some Coke rather.
Oh, just pretend.
Yeah, I'll just pour some of this in there. There we go. That was a big glub. I'm running out of this stuff. Nadine and Kim have to send us more of this stuff.
I think we need round 2.
Yeah.
Well, mine went overnight. not the same day I got it, but pretty quickly thereafter. I had a couple of people over and we put a dent in that puppy. What a beautiful bottle of whiskey that is.
It's amazing.
It's awesome.
Then, it was one of my 2 favorites. This one guy, he was a searcher who came down to St. Augustine, and he was like, I'm going to convince you that the St. Augustine puzzle is not in St. Augustine. And if I can't, I'm going to give you this giant bottle of Buffalo Trace. So I had this giant bottle of Buffalo Trace for a while that he gave me. And then one of my friends came over, like he got a divorce and he came over and he just drank the entire bottle in one night. Like,
oh, is that the famous night where the dude was like stumbling around? And that sounds amazing.
He's a good guy who's just had a bad day. And
hey, sometimes we all have them, right?
Yeah.
some of us more often than others, but so we have to take 17 shots, by the way. They've already said interview 17 times, so
Oh,
I might as
shit.
well just go get another beer.
Yeah, somebody asked if we'll be talking about the interview on today's interview, or is the interview off limits? If you
Well,
combine,
you know what, dude? I think those canceled each other out.
Mm.
So actually, no, spit it back out.
Oh,
They owe us shots because of that one.
nice. We really
Um,
should get a thing where we get the audience to do shots. That should be part of like the meetup. Like it's at a Mason Lodge. They don't allow
you
alcohol.
have to just do
You just
shots.
have to do shots.
Hi,
Before you
I'm
can ask
George. Here's a
Yeah.
shot.
Before
Okay,
you can ask questions, you have to do like 4 shots.
Mojo is saying I got to fix my background. Bright background. Oh, it's just bright. I think Mojo's just saying that it's bright. Okay,
Yeah,
but
you
it's
use
acceptable, right?
Yeah, you use that blur filter.
Now Paula wants us to drink 3 more times. She did it an odd number of times. So
I think like you use a filter, I got to use a filter. Like I'll just do.
I use a filter because I'm old.
What's up?
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, I dig it.
Actually, those would be pretty fun to have.
What filters? These are awesome, dude. You could do like this.
How come I don't have? Are those on Zoom?
No, you need a separate program.
Oh, it requires
Yeah.
me to lift a finger. I'm not gonna
It
do it.
requires you to do shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want before we get going,
Okay.
do you anything you want to say about the meetup besides shot taking?
No, I mean it's gonna be fun. It's at the Ashlar Lodge, so we can't have alcohol. Like it's at a Masonic lodge, and Masonic lodges are kind of weird about alcohol, so we can't have that. Which is weird because like the next step up from Masons are Shriners, and they're total like just drinking constantly.
Alkies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't understand.
I think if I had to choose, I'd probably go Shriner.
Yeah, but you have to be a Mason to be a Shriner, so you have to like.
I think I would skip.
I don't think you could do that.
Oh,
Masons or like Shriners are expensive too. Like you gotta have money to be a Shriner. I could never do that. I can't afford it.
so it's one way or the other. It's like super expensive, but you get to drink,
Or it's
or
cheap.
it's like first class on an airplane,
Yeah.
or well, no, you can still drink in economy. But anyway, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're good.
Yeah. I mean, we're just like, so we're gonna meet at that Mason Lodge and then do an interview, and then like and then mingle for a little bit. But I don't want to keep people there because the guys like Masons, they don't want to spend all day supervising us. So we're probably just gonna. There's a park across from the oldest house called the St. Francis Park, and I'm probably just gonna tell people like, "Hey, leave, and I'll meet you down there."
Yeah.
But we
get
I
outta
bought
here.
a bunch of cool shit for people. We got buttons. John's sending some books, which he's sending a lot. I don't know if I can get rid of them all.
John's sending books.
Yeah, John Palencar, he's sending copies of Origins, like a lot of them.
Sweet. Well,
Yeah, he's like this will get you through the Christmas, like the holiday season. All right.
sell them
Yeah,
if you don't give them away.
I'll sell them.
Yeah. So I wanted to say, so we're going to talk about the interview, and hopefully we need questions, right? So we need people to start feeding us
Yeah.
questions about the,
People have
oh,
to give us
wait, no,
questions.
we said interview.
Fuck.
I'm hammered. I'm not, I'm just drinking beer.
I had to do a PA system, dude, because I feel like too many people are coming and I'm not going to be able to yell like normal. Because normally I just make people yell. So I had to make a PA system with like 4 microphones and stuff. I'll go into
Cool.
a guitar amp, which is going to sound like
Yeah.
crap, but
Yeah, guitar amp's not the way to do it. You need a monitor and a
yeah,
PA.
I don't have a
regular
monitor.
PA speakers. Well, not a monitor, but you need PA speakers. But anyway, who cares? It's gonna
Yeah.
it'll be good, you know.
It'll
But
be fine.
I hope there's a ton of people. But I do want to say, like, so I re-listened to the interview today. Now, okay, first of all, there's 2 versions of the interview, you said.
Well, it's just, yeah, it's the same interview, just one has extra shit in it. But yeah,
So
there's the video and then there's audio. So like YouTube is not. I'm learning YouTube really isn't the right platform for like long drawn out kind of boring interviews.
Yeah.
It's more for like action oriented videos or whatever, right? And John wasn't super happy with like his placement in some of the, and like what he was doing with his hands and stuff. He said he looked fidgety. So we cut out a lot of the video, and that cut out a lot of the meat of the interview. So
Oh,
we just put out like an audio, so you can't see him doing
okay.
this. You can just
Okay.
hear it.
Okay. Anything, I mean, I've seen it, but are there any main things people would be missing if they only watch the video versus listening to the audio? Any big
Um,
takeaways?
I talked about the St. Augustine painting at the end.
Okay.
That was something that
Little,
wasn't in the video.
little more of that.
Yeah.
Um, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah. It's weird. Like I've watched both of the like I checked because it took like almost 3 months for this video to come out. So I've been watching it and re-editing it so much that I can't remember what's there and what's not. Like what's in the video versus what's in the audio. I just remember what happened, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't remember if there's anything in the audio. Like I would listen to the audio version because it's 3 times more John Palencar interview than is what in the video. Because the video is like 30 minutes long, and probably 15 of that's just me talking, and the audio version is like an hour long, and it's none of me talking at all. So
we're missing some things, is what you're saying.
yeah. Listen to the thing.
Jerk. What are you hiding from us?
Graydon Kramer said, "Do you think there's something from the Soldiers and Sailors monument in the Cleveland painting? Is he remembering incorrectly?"
I saw that.
Are you reading any of the comments, or is that just me?
I'm trying to. I'm trying to.
So to answer Graydon's comment, I think he was just misremembering, because like it's been 40 years. Dude was like just in college when he made these paintings. It's like, imagine you did a project 40 years ago that you forgot about for 40 years, and then people start coming up to you asking for details. You're not going to remember. I think he's not lying when he says like sometimes people say shit and it jogs his memory, but I think a lot of times he's like reaching for answers that he doesn't remember. Like he's like this helmet, he knows it was on a statue, and he's like, it was the Soldiers and Sailors maybe. Just kind of like when he was like when he said the fountain was somewhere around there, and I was like, no, that's the Italian Gardens. He's like, oh yeah, I remember now. So like I don't think he's lying when he says he doesn't remember a lot of this shit.
Dude, I was thinking during this watching this back again, how incredibly impressed I was with how much he could remember. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking back to 40 years ago for me, and there's I mean, a project that I worked on. I mean, I haven't worked on something of this magnitude, right? But even the biggest things that I've worked on, I would struggle big time.
I was two back then.
Okay, I was not.
I don't remember anything.
Well, but so right. So when you can look back, when you're able to look back at a lucid time in your life 40 years ago, you'll be saying the same thing as me. It's, you know what I'm talking about. It's
Dude,
like,
I can't remember shit from like 3 weeks ago. I don't know.
Exactly. So I'm actually pretty impressed. And it makes me think he doesn't drink very much.
He doesn't drink at all. Like
Yeah,
I've had two drinks with the man.
Okay.
After he like did his show, we went like it was in oh god, Connecticut. When I went to Connecticut,
Yeah.
he did his show, and we went back. Like we were gonna have dinner the next night, but he got snowed in, so we went to his hotel, and they have this huge, like, gorgeous bar restaurant area, and he had like White Russians or something.
Really?
Yeah, he was like, "What do you drink, George?" I was like, "Scotch." "What do you drink, John?" "White Russian." "Okay."
Wow. That's an interesting signature drink for somebody to have. Let's see. So I'm trying to look back through questions here. I think we missed a couple. Are they all in the They're all on the Facebook thread, right? I don't have to look at this blue thing.
Most of them, I can manage the YouTube ones.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, if there's something cool from there, definitely.
Guy
So
Michael
let's see.
asked if I asked him anything about the gift giver's hint, jogging his memory. I mean, he did talk about twirling and stuff.
He certainly did.
So
Weather vane and a sword, a lance person's dummy thing or whatever you call it. But you know what I'm talking about? And
yeah. Simon says he has an interactive question thing, but he needs to come on. And I feel weird about that because like the point of all of this is to like share information and share ideas and stuff. And Simon's been very outspoken about his unwillingness to share his ideas. So I feel like it's a little weird to do that. What do you think? Like, cause last I checked, Simon was writing a book and he refused to talk about any of his own ideas. And he asked questions and stuff, and they're great questions. He's a super nice guy. I just feel like it's weird to share with somebody who's not willing to share back.
he wants to get, but he doesn't want to give. I know Simon.
See,
I think he's a
I
pretty
don't
cool
think
guy.
Simon's malicious like that. I think he's just like he's got his plan.
He's nervous about screwing up his book.
Yeah, I think it's like he's like, well, save it all for the book, but that's just I don't know, it's not fair.
What is the nature of the question?
I said it was interactive.
Yeah, in what way?
Well, I mean, all questions are interactive. You have to ask the question.
Require like the removal of clothing? That type of interactive? Let's sit on that for a second. How about that? Gotcha. All right, but I do want to know what the nature, right? Why he would be.
Brett wants to know the nature of the question.
Yeah, give me the nature. In specific, Tara Chapman, what was the moment that changed the hunt for you pertaining to the? What's a synonym for interview?
There were two. I expected going into this to hear a bunch of shit I'd never heard before, right? I expected that things were not as simple as I thought they were. And then when I went in there and he literally just went like, these are latitude and longitude coordinates. This is over at the Italian gardens. This is over at the Greek gardens.
Monument,
that's it. I was like, what? Seriously? That's it? And like, even taking into consideration that these are the three easiest puzzles, right? So they would just be like, this is this. If they get progressively harder, they're not going to get that much harder later on. Right? Does that make sense?
It does. However,
no, go ahead. Sorry.
However, he did say that he said something like you shouldn't overthink it, but then again, you have to overthink it.
But he wasn't talking about the images there. He was talking about Byron. He was talking about the verses.
And he was talking about how when the verse comes heavier into play.
Yeah, that's what makes them harder. That was one of the big things for me is when he talked about difficulty, it was taking the paintings out was what made them more difficult. It was the verses. Where when people focus on difficulty, they tend to focus on the paintings, like he's hiding maps or he's hiding directions or he's hiding whatever's in the paintings. When John talks about difficulty, he's like, no, it gets difficult when the paintings start going away. You know? They're not going away, but when there's less in the paintings and more in the verses.
That was my big fear about this whole thing, that was going to be the case. And when I heard that, I was like, oh man, it's going to be another 40 years plus.
It's going to be.
Okay. What was number 2? And then we'll move on to something else.
Oh, you gave me a painting, dude.
Oh yeah, that part. So I want to say something. So first of all, I don't know if everybody else is like this, but I get an absolute kick out of your intros, and you have you've developed this cool personality when you do the intro part, and you have, trust me, I've seen you develop over time, like just in a couple of years.
I've seen you grow from a child.
Well, remember when we were doing the podcasts, even like, when we started kind of doing them more often or talking more,
Oh
over
yeah.
video and over the phone and stuff like that. Like just the progression over time is and then you cutting in all these cool intros and stuff like that. Your creativity is cool. I think you're using a drone for part of it or something.
Yeah.
That is fucking sweet. Like it's cool. And the little car, so the
That
airplane
was way
thing,
harder than it looks.
how did
That
you
was
do
super
that?
hard. It was like, so there was an After Effects script where you could like uh, place a map and then make the map three-dimensional and then plot points on it, and then like an algorithm had to take another image. It was really hard. And then I ended up fucking up because when I was flying, the plane was supposed to fly into Pittsburgh, but it flew into like West Virginia or something, but nobody caught it, so I don't care.
It was freaking hilarious. Uh, but you are giving way too much credit to the rest of the people involved in this. You are certainly the leader of this thing. And at the beginning, you said the podcast did. I just want to point this out for people listening. The podcast did this. The podcast did that. George does it all. And even if he doesn't do it all, it's his idea and we're pitching in sometimes to help a little bit, but like all of the meetups, all of these videos, this setting up, just what we're doing right now to, setting up all the charities, putting yourself through all that bullshit that you have to go through. um so I want to point that out, that I am like,
I mean, I appreciate it,
I'm
but I still think
stoked that you
I
got
think it's a
this.
team effort. Like half of the stuff that we know, like half of the information we have, we wouldn't have if it wasn't for people like Chris or Matt or Mark
Hmm.
or whatever. So I mean, I feel like it's still a very much a team effort.
Lots of people chip in and do cool things and say cool things, and we are definitely a team. But when it comes to the person that's at the front of this and like doing all this stuff, like the credit goes to you. And I just wanted to
Well, I appreciate
point
that.
out that like you do deserve that painting, not like it's mine to give or something, but like I'm not shocked that he gave it to you and that was the end result of it, because
I was.
you deserve it. Yeah, I
Dude,
could
when
tell.
he pulled out that FedEx box, I was like, "Oh, great, another sketch." I was, what kind of sketch is this? Oh, it's on
It's
form.
origins.
Holy shit!
And then
What was
what?
crazy was getting that thing home, because like immediately after that interview, he's like, "Let's go out to dinner." I was like, all right." He's like, "Here, have the painting," and he just hands it to me, and I'm like, "What the fuck? What am I supposed to do with this?"
Yeah.
And I put it in the trunk of my car, and I'm just driving around one of the secret paintings in the trunk of my car. And then like flying at the airport, like I had my backpack, but then I had this painting. And luckily, like our flight was only three-quarters full. So when the plane took off, I went up to one of the stewardesses and I was like, "This is a very expensive painting. Where can I put it where it's not going to get dinged up?" And they had to move shit out of the overhead compartment. So I had one whole overhead compartment to myself, and they put it right there. And then they moved people
Damn.
and they put me in a row by myself under the overhead compartment.
What?
Yeah,
What airline is
Rachel,
this?
it was dude, it would kill you, man. It was Frontier.
Frontier did that for you?
Frontier did that.
Holy crap.
And then Rachel's over there sitting next to like whoever. She's like, "Why can't I get my own aisle?" I was trying to get her to come over, but
Well, you're
anyway,
basically a
with my
celebrity.
painting. Yeah, that was it was
No, but
weird.
I want to point that out. That was something that struck me at the beginning. And the other thing, I got to give you a little grief because he like asked you something and then he goes like, "What do you feel about being here?" or something like that. And you go, "It's weird."
It
And
is.
I'm like, "Great, George, way to start out a
Well,
kick-ass
everything's weird to me.
interview and just
I was
calling it."
really well because he was so
I'm
nonchalant,
just
right?
fucking
He's
with him.
like,
Yeah.
we were standing. So when I went to his house, I went in and his wife Lee opened the door, and she like we've never really talked, but we sent each other Christmas presents and like we've sent a couple of emails back and forth. And she like gave me this big hug and invited me in. She walked me into their kitchen and they had set out this like buffet of
What?
snacks. Yeah, it was like the Midwest. I thought the South knew how to host, but no, it's the Midwest. Like literally like a buffet of like she had made little puff pastries. Like they were so good.
They were not messing around. They're like,
No. and
this interview, this is a major interview, and we're going to bring it. It's like Time Magazine is coming in. They weren't going to like get
yeah,
dissed for not
and
putting a
so we
killer
walked into
spread out.
John's studio. Like John was like, we sat and we talked and we bullshit for like an hour or whatever. And John's like, let's go get this interview out of the way. I was like, okay. So we walked into his studio and there's all the paintings. And he's like, come over here. And I was like, oh, okay. So I walked with, and then we were screwing with lighting and stuff. And I didn't even get a chance to look at these because he's just like, oh, whatever. And when we sat down, he's like, what's this like? And I was like, this is weird.
No, I thought it was hilarious. I'm like,
Yeah.
way to start the interview out by just saying this is weird. But yeah, what you did is you put me in the mindset of you. I thought it was cool. Like I would be totally like,
it's like, what do you do?
Right. Dumbstruck and confused and like, okay, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I think he did it to throw me off because it's like you're sitting there staring at all these things. You're like, what can I talk? What can I ask? What can I talk about? What? I don't even know what to say anymore.
This is what interrogators do when they want to get information out of a person of interest, is they throw you off your game and they put you in their
I brought some gifts for him that some people had sent. Like I posted a couple of videos, but people sent like 4 or 5 different things, so I was giving them to him. And he wanted to send stuff back to these people. So he's like sending me all over his studio looking for stuff. Like, go over here and see if you can find this print, or go over. And so I'm rummaging through John Palencar's stuff. Like, this is the craziest day of my life.
You're like sticking stuff in your pocket while you're.
He's like, there was this one print. It was a Stephen King print. And he's like, this is super rare. They only made like 15 or 20 of them. And I'm looking and they're like on his floor. And I'm like,
Stop this.
Do I
This
clean
is
up
madness.
John's studio?
Dude, just leave me in here alone for an evening.
Yeah.
I'll clean it up, and then you're just taking pictures of everything. And you know, I have to back to remembering things and what we were talking about before. Like I'm kind of now pretty convinced that he doesn't really know like exact locations.
No, he was
I'm
pretty. He was pretty like that was something I think he wanted to get like bang home. Like he can get you to a general area. He can tell you what you need to really look for, but he like if you took him to a park and told him to dig up a cask, he couldn't do it.
He made that pretty clear when he said, well, Cleveland, I was there, you know, but I even turned my back when he buried it. But like he wasn't at the other places. So Byron's just taking Polaroids of like a flag and a stone walkway and a planter box and going, put this in somewhere, you know, and he's just doing this. And then, you know, he put something in and Byron's like, oh dude, that's totally going to give it away. Like you got to cover that up and put some tape on it and put something else there.
Because it does seem like he was given a lot of pieces. Like when he was talking about Boston, where he thought the home plate represented Green Monster because of the Green Tower of Lights or whatever in the verse. I think that's like what he was trying to say is I was given a bunch of pieces of the puzzle, but I don't know how the puzzle works. I don't know how to put these pieces together. Right. So yeah, I totally 100% believe him.
Play wants us to drink, so we got to drink first of all.
Okay. I've already done that.
Me too. Steve Margolis is saying, let's say we think we know where New Orleans is and the location is very unique. I'm sure JJP would remember the location. Good question, because it was so unique. Now the thing is the area has been, you know, changed. This is a long question. Okay. And it keeps moving back and forth on the landscape page. If JJP was given a picture of the location then and now, would he ever say, yes, that was the correct location, given that the cask is no longer obtainable? And then he says, interview. He did it an odd number of times, so we have to drink 3 times.
No.
Just take little sips.
Answer to your question is no.
Yeah. I don't.
John thinks it's a puzzle, right? And he thinks you need to solve it. And when you solve it, you'll know you solved it. And everybody else will know you solved it. Because like the Boston thing, if somebody had come up with Boston and didn't dig up a cask, that's still pretty obvious. You know, like when HC was talking about it on Reddit, people were like, holy shit, that's good. like really good. And it costs somebody to go dig it up. I feel like John's not going to tell you. I feel like that defeats the spirit of the hunt. Plus, I don't think he knows enough to know if you're right.
I agree. I just, from my point of view, I'm eternally skeptical about stuff until it gets like kind of put in my face. Like,
Yeah.
you know, my view on back of the book. I think a few people are like that. A few people aren't like that. But like, I would need to see something. Like, I could be convinced. I want to be open-minded, but I would need to see something that convinces me, like empirically, you know?
I mean, imagine how screwed up the hunt would get if somebody went to John and was like, "Here's my solution," and John was like, "Yeah, that's right," and then 4 years later, somebody dug it up in a different spot. You know?
Yeah,
Imagine how much that would screw up the hunt.
it would screw it up big time. Plus all the contract stuff. Okay, so here's Play is asking us a question. How did this change your mind on, he said you mind, which is pretty lame, Play. Sorry.
How did it change your mind?
How did it change your mind on how to view the paintings, color, light, angle of view, distorting the image, anamorphic mirror, and so that, yeah, this is a good time to talk about the anamorphics and the color
we've always
field.
thought that. We've been saying for years, like tilt the Cleveland or the Charleston image.
I don't think it changed.
No.
Well, him saying that it's in there changed me a little bit.
Yeah, but I think what he did was he gave you like 3 different options, and probably only one of them's correct. You know, because you don't want to use 3 different styles and then tell you. Yeah, we've been doing that with Chris had those color filters that he looked for.
This is from Chris Preacher. Yeah, he sent this to me. So this is, I don't remember what he called this. I just wanted to show it to people because it's cheap
film,
reflective film, and you can use. It's really easy to bend and mold and make into a tube and look down the middle and stuff like that. So like this is something cool that you can pick up at probably at art stores and stuff, or Amazon, and use it. So anyway, I thought I would bring that out. But yeah, it doesn't change my view on that. It just makes me think like it's in there somewhere.
Yeah, something. Because I've always said that one specific color in New York had to have a meaning and maybe use some sort of filter for that. And Charleston, I've always been like, just tilt that shit. I think Chris was using the mirror for Boston for the porthole to try to figure out what was on the outside of it.
Yeah, I was using it in San Francisco at where the ledge is behind the dragon. You know, there's like a ledge. I thought maybe that was a clue to, you know, set it at the ledge and bend it and look that way. And so I did a lot of that stuff. Obviously nothing came from it, but those are some ideas for people. Trey Lyon, super cool name, and I hope it's a real name. Any ideas on what the Cleveland tail might parallel San Francisco dragon? Maybe something else?
I mean, like, what was the common thing? It was the road? I mean, I don't hate the road. Because he was saying like the triangle thing was something too, but he couldn't remember what it was. But we always thought it was Euclid, which is the road that MLK runs into, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't hate it being the road, like 2 representations of the road. I don't hate that. But
I don't hate that.
No idea.
I don't know if it would parallel to a San Francisco. I don't know why there would be a tie, but who knows?
Is it a curvy dragon?
Curved tail. Okay. Where in the George? This is from Kathy Bonadio, or maybe it's Bonadio. Where in the painting were you talking about when you said people still don't know what this area is regarding the St. Augustine painting?
It's hard to describe. I posted a picture of it online. It's basically like it's what people have always called, like, it's just above what people have always called the baby eater, with the thing that looks like a face that's eating a baby.
Oh yeah.
So it's that.
Okay. Simon, give him 5 minutes. It's probably
Oh,
late there, right? What do you think?
okay. Yeah,
Simon,
that's
you want
fine.
to, let's bring Simon in. Let's give him a couple of minutes. Um, he's in, he's in the
England.
UK. Yeah. So it
Yeah.
is, while you're doing that, I have to plug my computer in
Oh,
because it is going to run out of juice. So I'm going to go off camera, but I'll stay on audio.
okay.
So while we're doing that,
I'm all alone now.
no, I'm here.
I'm scared.
You just have to
It's
look at me with glasses on.
It's scary being out here in the vastness of nothing with all by
Hold me,
myself.
hold me, hold me, mommy.
I'm gonna cry.
Um,
Graydon said something about like the way he shut down the tail question made him think it was something to do with another city. I just think he doesn't remember.
okay.
Like the same as the Boston thing where he was
Yeah.
like the thing around the porthole and he was like, that's meant to be figured out later. I really just think he doesn't remember. Like
Dude,
it's something that he doesn't remember.
dude,
And he
check
doesn't
it
want
out.
to say that.
When he wants to shut something down, he just does it. He doesn't, you know what I mean? He
Yeah.
doesn't, he just says, I can't tell you that because of it'll give it away, or it's part of a bigger thing, or part of the template.
John likes screwing with people, but it's pretty obvious when he's screwing with people, like with the like Photoshop stuff. I feel like he would have just been like, yeah, there's clues everywhere that go all over the place. Just like if he, you know,
Right.
I don't know. I feel like he just forgot. But
Well,
I
and
forgot what it was.
the other thing is that I don't think he wants to say how much he forgot because I think he wants to stay a part of this. And you know what I mean? I think he wants people to still engage with him about it.
It's
in the way that
odd.
you're doing it.
He wants. I think he enjoys this. Like it's
Right.
fun for him, and it's fun to see like Byron's thing continue. But he's also seen how
Right.
people bug him,
Are.
and he doesn't want that. It for sure. Like he wants to be left alone to kind of enjoy the puzzle the way hunters do. He just wants to enjoy it.
Right. Right. And you can tell that I think he sometimes reads his emails.
Yeah.
You know, I think some people like just probably gets a little, you know, bug in his rug about like, oh, okay, maybe I'll check out this person's solution and see if they're, you know,
I don't
but
think
at the end of
ever does that, but okay.
I feel
so
because here's the reason why I think that, because he says things that make me think that he's paying attention.
well, he responds. Well, I talk to him a lot. Like I'll
You're the
talk
one
about some
feeding
stuff.
him. You're feeding him all the
I
info.
think
Okay.
so. Because like
All right.
whenever he talks about getting anything in the because he doesn't. Most people can't find his email address. His email address is pretty difficult. And it's not his old website email address. Like it's hard to find his email address.
Dude, it's jjp@aol.com.
That's exactly what it is.
Come on.
And so he talks like when he gets stuff in the mail a lot. And he's like, I'll open it, and as soon as I see it's about the secret, I just throw it away. He's like, I got this one where a man and his kid made a thumb drive that they put they put what was it, Sculpey? They used Sculpey around it to make it look like a key from the secret. And he was like, it was gorgeous. It was creative. He said, but there's no fucking way I'm putting that in my computer. No. So I just threw it away.
It sucks.
Yeah.
And you never know what people are going to send you. And, you know, he's somewhat of a celebrity, you know, so people get obsessed with those people.
I'm supposed to be letting in Simon, right?
Yeah. Where is he?
I forgot to send him the link. There we go. I sent Simon the link.
All right, Simon, come on in because I want to get to the template too. I want to get to the template talk because I think that's probably one of my biggest takeaways from this. I don't know if for other people that's
that they had a template.
Well, that there's a template. He was talking about the template.
Yeah.
And I want to dig into that a little bit.
That's cool
with you.
I mean, it's not new. It's not new information. We already knew he had a template.
It's probably true. People probably knew about it, but I want to talk about like what it could be and what it, because to hear him bring it up, I guess directly was a little bit like, oh, okay. So what's this template? Okay, sorry. I'll be back here in a second. There he is.
I am alone again.
I love Simon's accent.
Oh, look, it's Simon. He has an interactive question. for
Hello,
us.
can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah.
Do you just have a blanket hanging up beside you?
Yeah, I do. Hang on a second. I'm getting audio from 2 feeds.
Dude, are you in a sleeping bag right
Let
now?
me, let me just. I can't hear stuff. Hang on.
Dude, you got to
While
get
he
out of the
can't
sleeping
hear,
bag.
let's talk shit. Simon is currently camping near
Mute.
Amphill. He just muted us. Just muted us.
He doesn't like us.
No, let me just. I have to
I-
mute one feed. Can you hear? Okay, that's it. That's now.
You got us?
I'm not getting stereo.
Woo.
Audio. Okay, so
All right, what do you got, buddy?
well, I know before what happened was that you were saying about Simon doesn't reveal stuff, and then the feed cut.
Yeah.
So I got like a kind of the beginning of that, and then
Oh,
it kind of.
so I
was
just I know
there were
you're
thunderstorms
it's
behind me,
fine.
so
I know
No worries.
you're a really good person who the community really likes, and you tend to be super helpful. But I feel like it's weird that, because I know you're like writing a book or something, and you don't like talking about your own ideas because you're gonna put them in your book. But I often I feel that's a little unfair. Like, it takes advantage of the community because you're taking their stuff and you're interacting with their stuff, and you're challenging and sort of changing their stuff. But you give nothing. I don't want to say nothing back, because you do give things back, but nothing new. Like, you don't bring anything to the table. You just sort of help people adjust what's already on the table. Does that make sense?
well, referencing people is a way to give credit because you say this thing is said
Yeah,
by
it's
this
not.
person,
No, it's not. That's a total cop out. Because if you write a book and you're like, this person said that, does nothing. It does nothing in the moment, because there's no way to tell if what's in the book is true. There's no way to tell if people are going to even read it. There's no way to tell any of that. It like, credit comes at the moment, and I think respect when using people's stuff is reciprocated by giving back, not just by being like, I used this guy's stuff and here's his name. I'm not trying to rag on you by any means.
and
I'm
also
just
and like
conversation.
saying thanks and stuff as well. It's like this
Yeah.
person was good and did this stuff, and you big up the people who helped you and stuff, and you say I
I
think
haven't
they were
heard big up since Ali G.
Ali. 20 years ago. Yeah,
It's been a long time.
I don't know. Anyway, but I can help. Yeah, I want to sort of like help out, but I'm also cut out a bit as well. I feel isolated because I can't do this sort of stuff so much. But anyway, right? Okay.
I just
feel
really
like
want to be
that.
like, big up yourself. Big up
Don't-
yourself,
Okay.
Simon.
Pick
Right.
up yourself.
Okay.
Don't feel like that. First of all, you're definitely like part of the team.
Yeah,
and
it's
we
great.
think you're awesome. And I personally think you're hilarious and cool and super smart. So I want you to know that. And then the other thing is that I owe you a video walk around of Golden Gate Park. I know I owe you
It's a
that
long
still.
walk.
I promise. Yeah.
I've
so you're gonna get-
already had one. I've already had
good.
one, but
Sweet.
okay.
Okay.
If you want to do it, I'm happy to do it if you find it fun.
Yes, and you'll probably get about 10% of Golden Gate Park from me because
Yeah.
I'm old.
Okay. Okay, maybe there's bits I missed. Okay. Okay. So here's the thing. I mean, the reason why I wanted to do an interactive thing is because it requires a sort of like of memory reconstruction, because it was several months ago, but you've got the video of it, and if I asked this in like a few years' time, you probably wouldn't have as much, a greater understanding. You'd things had changed and stuff. That's why it is that I wanted
Fair
to kind of
enough.
like, because if I ask a question and you give like an answer that isn't quite what you went off to the side, I can't clarify. Say, oh no, I mean this.
Okay.
That's why, just to catch stuff basically. Okay, so what the first part was actually a lot of other people have cottoned onto this. People like Mojo, and I think, is it Graydon just now, were going on about the soldiers and sailors monument and saying, I think they've done the same as me and just gone, oh, let's have a look where the helmet sort of thing is, and they've gone, it's all Lincoln era soldiers, so no metal helmets.
It's not there, yeah.
As far as I could see, even looking at the
Completely
stuff
different era. Yeah.
Oh, I was hunting with other people. I can show you where I think the helmets were. There were two possibilities of what the helmet I thought were image matches in the real world. This is the trip to Cleveland that Mike Stewart and myself, or he did, and I showed him where I thought one of the helmets was, and also there's another one. I can't do it without looking at the feed here, but I could sort of
No worries.
indicate where it is. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So that was one of the things. Like, yeah. Do hunters want to have a look at that thing? I think pretty much everyone's looked at it and gone the Soldier and Sailor Monument and gone. We can't find it. Okay, so that was that covered. Okay, that's been covered. Okay. The other thing is, okay, well, in the interview, and I posted this in the chat.
Crap.
Oh, are you okay? Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
We have to drink.
I posted this just now because I wanted to get the question going. Is that in the interview room of the 3 secret paintings that were there, was it just 3? Was it just 3?
There were only 3 put up
on display. Okay, so you had the 2 there, and then you had like the medieval scarecrow behind you. Okay, so was the seating, was it all set up like when you came in, sort of like as, or did you come in and put like the cameras up and then you went and arranged everything? You came in and arranged everything. Okay. Did he suggest that sort of like where he was sitting, or was that his desk and you kind of just sat?
His desk isn't in frame. No, it's the middle of his studio. We just sat in the big empty middle.
So did he set up the seating arrangement?
No.
Did he sort of kind of like suggest it?
Well, I mean, like he suggested a seating arrangement, but we didn't use it because he wanted a 2-shot, and I only brought 1 camera because he wanted my face when he gave me the painting, and I only brought 1 camera, and there was no way to make that happen. Unless we were like sitting right next to each other, like buddy at a movie theater or something. There was really no way to make what he wanted happen.
Okay, because that's interesting. Because there was on the audio, there was this kind of scuffling around of like what to do and stuff like that sort of thing.
Yeah, we were just moving the tripods and shit.
Yep. Okay, so the reason I wanted to ask this sort of stuff, because people are going, why the hell? Is that obviously the talk was about the 3 found locations, and 2 of the paintings there. 1 can't be there obviously because it's in Brick Tower possession, and then you've got also a bonus medieval scarecrow there. Okay, let's ask the question. Why do you think that those 3 are out there? Why not maybe one of the other ones? Maybe the image 7 or image.
Because it's already been put out. It was already put out on EU. It was put out everywhere. Like everybody's seen the medieval scarecrow. It's been put out in magazines. It's not that big of a deal for him to show that. It's sort of the default painting that gets shown whenever it's like, let's see a painting, is a medieval scarecrow. So it's probably one of his favorites too. It's one of the more intricate, I would assume. It's one of his favorites.
I think we lost him.
Yeah, it's thunderstorms, man. We'll wait.
Thunderstorms. He's also in a sleeping bag in the middle of a field somewhere outside of London. He's probably by Stonehenge.
So that cut out just as you did the John impression. So you said, as you just did the John impression, yeah.
I did
as you said, yeah.
We lost you.
The default painting, and you said, and then it cut just as it finished. Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't catch anything after that. Sorry.
It just we were just making fun of you being in a sleeping bag after that. You froze up too, so we knew you weren't here. Dude. No, it's just the sort of the default painting that he puts up is a medieval scarecrow. I think he likes it because it's intricate and it looks pretty, whereas the rest of them aren't so pretty. Like I don't think he would ever publicly show the New York one because it's just sort of slapped together. It's stylistically and artistically it's interesting to look at, so I think that's why he put it up. I mean, the ones that were arranged by size on their respective size easels, and those easels are heavy and they're not going to move. Like I think he put the ones on the easels that they would fit on, if that makes sense. I don't think there was any
rhyme or reason
why he put
well, that was my question. That was
and then like one so he had a painting that he was working on for something else, which I wasn't allowed to show and I'm not allowed to talk about. It has nothing to do with the secret, but it was behind the medieval scarecrow and it needed to be covered, but I don't know if it was wet or whatever. It couldn't be covered, so it had to be blocked, and the medieval scarecrow was sort of blocking it. That might have been why it was out in the first place, just because it's big and it can block this one thing.
Okay.
I don't know though. I'm not, it's just a guess.
I mean, that's the thing is that I was going to say. I mean, that was kind of my point, was that there was the two that you'd be talking about, and then a bonus one that didn't seem to belong because that's not one that was going to be discussed about. But there could have been that sort of legitimate reasoning and stuff.
Yeah.
Or there might have actually been a reason for that, in that he feels that maybe that's one of the puzzles that's the most problematic for searchers in his own mind.
He said it was the next one that should be solved in order of difficulty, so it shouldn't be most problematic.
He might have been saying that as a joke. I don't know. To select that one, when I heard that, I thought, well, maybe he's just doing his flim flam.
It's possible.
It's possible.
It is also possible that you don't know as much about this as John does, and he's just telling the truth.
That's true. I think he has definitely clued us on stuff, and that it is accurate, and there are accurate clues to like the things that I would, for my thinking is that there's certainly some stuff, but he does kind of like put on the flim flam if he thinks he's cornered. As I think I said, and I think you've agreed with that. The other thing was that as an adjacent thing to that, of the third painting being there, image 3 painting, is that he was there to talk about the found locations, and the other puzzles got kind of mentioned very rapidly in passing, maybe instigated by you or whatever. They talk about New York or whatever. I can't remember which ones, but that's the one he kind of went, oh, that painting there, could it be, he mentioned that one just a bit more, and I was kind of suggestive of like basically that's he was giving maybe a subtle clue.
Well,
up to people's decision. Maybe not.
When we walked in, like that's what I gravitated towards, because I've always been interested in the texture of that painting, just non-puzzle, not puzzle related at all. I've always been interested in how he did the texture, because the texture of the walls is insane, especially after you see like the photos of the original painting and when it was on EU and all of this stuff. Looking at the texture, it's like, holy shit, did John actually paint all this texture on this wall? And if he did, that's crazy. So as soon as I had the chance to gravitate towards the painting, I went to look at the texture in this painting, and I was like, oh, it's just a textured painting that he added some shadows and stuff to the texture. Like that's how he did it. And it answered a question. So I was talking to him about that, and it just sort of spitballed. And I think like the reason he mentioned that one so much is, I mean, he also mentioned Cleveland and he mentioned Boston a lot. Is they were out there. They were easy to point at and just look at and be like, it's this thing and this whatever. It's harder to talk about something that you can't see. And I don't know. I'm pretty sure I got him started with the texture thing. It's crazy. It's crazy to.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that was my point. Is that maybe he was giving a subtle clue. There's another potential. There's a subtle clue with the. I mean, you say he may have forgotten stuff, and I agree. Yeah, he could well have forgotten stuff, but he might have been given a side clue as well when he mentioned the Boston, not Boston. What am I thinking of? The soldiers and sailors thing. Yeah. He might have been, but that was just an idea, and I wasn't so sure. That's why I wanted to kind of like see if I can flesh out the what was there and what it was like, because of the footage is not there for us to see completely. For myself and the other searchers to sort of to think about.
I mean, it's just him going, the soldiers and sailors, like that's all it is.
It could be, yeah. Was there anything else? Because I said I only wanted to. I was prepared to only come on for a few minutes because you might not want to, unless you want to ask
stuff, dude. No, thank you for coming on. That was fun. Thanks for
thanks
for joining us.
I'll let you go. Okay.
Thank you for the question.
Later, buddy.
I think he froze again.
No, that's just what he does when he clicks out of something.
Oh, like that painting is so weird because he was talking about masking things off. I think this was in the audio version where he was talking about a guy who likes to, he's like, it's splattered on and then you mask stuff off. And it's really weird to see that in real life because like where the scarecrow itself is completely flat, like glass. And there's just random little things in the paintings that are just like glass, because he really did like mask off all of the stuff he wanted to paint and then just splattered shit on the canvas for texture. And it's just so weird to see texture glass. So
so I got to get some of these questions in because like the questions are going down and I'm never going to follow. Okay. So Graydon asked, he said the paintings got smaller as he went on. Seems to fit that those would also be the harder ones that are more verse heavy. Do we know the order of the paintings by size?
Kind of, but also I think what you have to take into consideration, like New York is pretty big, but it's not detailed. Like it didn't take long to paint, right? So you also have to take that into consideration. Like what's there? Milwaukee is a decent size, but there's nothing there. You know, there's nothing in that painting. So it didn't take him that long to paint, as opposed to stuff like Medieval Scarecrow, which would take forever. Or, you know, San Francisco, which would take forever.
Dude, all the detail in that and the blocks and the, you know.
Yeah. And then St. Augustine, which is like the size of a postcard. I mean, it's bigger than that, but it's tiny. And that pissed me, like, you know, like how frustrating that was to walk into a studio and here's all these paintings, and then the one thing that you're not allowed to see is the one that you want to see the most, the freaking St. Augustine painting. Like, I wanted to see that so bad, and I'm walking into a studio and it's just not there, and I was like, oh God, he's keeping it away so I don't see it. And then in this whole interview, I'm like, oh, maybe at the end, if I ask really nicely, he'll let me see it. And then he hands me a thing and I'm like, oh, is this a sketch? Holy shit, I get to take it home.
So I get some call from you like late at night, one night. You remember that? And you're like, dude, I don't even know what to say or how to talk to you right now. And I'm like, okay, is everything okay? You know, medically, are you going to, you know, I was nervous and scared for you because it was kind of out of the blue. Yeah. And you're like, dude, you're never going to believe what I have with me right now. And I'm like, what?
And I called Brian Zinn and I was like, dude, yeah, he picked up. I was like, dude, you know, you got a cask? He's like, yeah. I was like, guess what I got?
I got one better than you.
He's like, he's like, holy shit, did you find one? I was like, better. He's like, how can you get better than that? I was like, I got the St. Augustine painting.
I'm not going to say
freaked out.
Dude, I'm not going to say that, like, I'd rather have a cask personally, just because of what it represents for me in particular, but those are pretty equal in terms of like awesome things to have. So I'm stoked for you. Okay. I do want to talk about, how long have we been at this? About an hour now.
About.
I want to talk to you about the template.
Okay.
And then I also he says, sometimes you have to, and I quote him, take a left turn instead of a right. There's a couple of things I want to get your opinion on. What do you?
Well, the left instead of right thing, I think it was illustrated when he was talking about the L and the bell, right? That's a pretty, like, it's center painting. And as soon as you see it, you think Liberty Bell, which would put you in a completely different city, right? It's a pretty obvious. I think it was Sunday was talking about it on the Facebook group today. When you take that by itself, it's a red herring, right? Just 100% a red herring. But when you put it in context of the rest of the puzzle, it's not. It's just sort of misleading, right? And I think that's what he's talking about. That there are other things in these paintings like that are just kind of they're not going to put you. Like, they're just a little misleading and they're not being interpreted correctly. So instead of going where you're going with this, you need to go the other way. And I like, it's probably not something like minute. It's probably something big. It's probably something like, you know how there's a picture of the Statue of Liberty? Don't dig there. That's just telling you New York. Like, it's probably something like that, as opposed to,
you know how there's a big Golden Gate Park in the San Francisco image? Yeah. Don't dig there.
That's just trying to tell you something else.
Where the dragon is or something, you know, like,
yeah.
And then what about template?
Well, we know there's a template. We know that each of these paintings give you certain information. We know each of the puzzles give you certain information. They give you shit like the dates, the numbers, latitude and longitude coordinates, or cities or states or whatever. Like, if we could make a list of everything that's represented in either the painting or the verse and create our own template. Now, whether or not the template goes on from there into stuff we haven't found is a completely different story. I think people have they've tried really hard to shoehorn in new parts of the template. It's like zodiac signs, you know, where it doesn't really work as well as the rest of the stuff. I think there's probably something that we're missing in that template, but saying that there's a template isn't really big news. We've known that for years. We just don't use the word template to describe what we're talking about.
Here's why I bring it up specifically, because he said that there were clues in the paintings that he couldn't tell us about, because it would reveal some sort of template.
Yeah.
So what did you?
Well,
you
not
get
that
a
it would
sense
reveal
for-
a template. I think, like, yeah, maybe because it's like the clue is used the same way in another painting, maybe, and he doesn't
Correct.
know
That's
if we figured
exactly-
it out. Yeah.
That's exactly where I'm going.
I think the thing is, John doesn't know everything we know. So he's really careful about what he talks about. Like, when we listen to John talk, we expect him to talk about super deep levels of this puzzle, where in reality, he doesn't know where we're at in this puzzle. So he's talking about surface level stuff. You know, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if he knows, just like the latitude, when we were talking about the latitude and longitude in Chicago, right? We're talking about the latitude and longitude coordinates on the Chicago water tower. And he was like, well, maybe it's there. I don't think we knew they were in all of the puzzles, right? Like, so he wasn't going to bring it up. I think it has a lot to do with that. I think we're sort of overthinking what he's talking about and not remembering that he doesn't know how deep we go into these. Like, he doesn't really read the Facebook groups. He knows what other searchers tell him, and it's just me, you know? So
yeah.
I don't know.
Stop telling him stuff.
Sorry.
See, I think that if he were to say, I think, total my opinion. I have no clue. I didn't interview him.
What are you drinking, by the way?
Just beer. I didn't, I have no idea. I haven't interacted with him really. I haven't even talked to him. Right.
Really
So
nice
I have
guy.
no clue. Yes. And he looks awesome. I think what he was saying there is that if I tell you in the Cleveland painting that, or whatever, in the Boston painting, that this thing is this thing. So I told you that Boston was spelled out. I told you Boston Pops. I told you this, told you that. That's not Christopher Columbus. That's a model, that type of stuff. But then he reaches a certain point and he says, but if I told you this one, you would recognize the pattern and apply it to, see where I'm going?
Yeah.
Like, and apply it to whatever, St. Augustine, you name it, Milwaukee, and you would totally figure that out. And I don't know if that's a novel, not a novel idea, but a novel. It's, for me, it makes me go back to the current solved paintings and dig deeper and look for stuff that I am trying to cross apply to other, the template or the pattern to other stuff. That's all.
I mean, maybe this is something we should talk to him about next time, because next time you're going to be there 100. Because I think something people might be forgetting that I talked about at the beginning of the year. This interview that I did with John was his idea, and it was his idea to do two. One that was recorded and one that was live, like a Sunday fun day where he just answers questions from people, and you're 100% going to be on that. I don't know if he still wants to do that, but I guess I could bug him about it and see.
So that's all. That's why I wanted to talk about that. I'm just kind of like putting some pieces together and things that he said and didn't say, and trying to, find like that. That was that was an there were a few eye openers for me. And yes, of course, there's a template with every puzzle. I guess on this one, it depends on how you look at it, right? Is each one kind of its own silo, right? Or are we cross applying a bunch of stuff? You know how we had that podcast episode about like what are the like similarities?
Yeah.
I think we said a building and
Yeah. I mean,
a state shape and stuff like that. And
it's a good exercise to take what we know about individual puzzles and try to apply the same methodology to the other ones, I guess, because of how much stuff is shared between these. Like some of the stuff is probably some of this stuff in individual paintings is probably shared with another painting. We just haven't picked up on it yet. I mean, obviously it is, since there's stuff he won't talk about.
And he said it, dude.
Yeah.
He said it. You guys are missing something that's staring you right in the face.
Yeah.
Now, maybe it's always easy for a puzzle maker to say it's staring you in the face, and nobody will ever get it until they say it. I've been in that situation before where you think it's easy and it isn't, but
it's not.
On both ends of it. And it's like, dude, I never would have got that. That's stupid. You know what I mean?
Boston Pops, that's dumb.
I mean, I like it now.
I kind of felt good calling him out on it though. It's not
Did
popping.
you notice
It's
how he
gonna
quickly
pop.
Yeah, he dissed you on that one though. Did you notice that? He's like, yeah, whatever, it's gonna pop. Anyway, on to the next. I thought that was awesome.
He's got like, such a good sense of humor about this stuff.
You dare call out my puzzle making.
I asked him once when we were at dinner. I was like, I pulled up the Milwaukee painting and I was like, is this a guy or a girl? And he's like, what? I was like, nobody knows if this is a guy or a girl. And he's like, what do you mean nobody knows? It's a girl, by the way.
What's a girl?
The juggler in the Milwaukee painting?
Oh,
it's
yeah.
A girl.
Of course it's a girl.
Yeah, well, it's like been a half.
Is this one of those blue dress, green dress things?
I think so.
Like
half the community thinks it was a guy, half thinks it was a girl.
Who thinks it's a guy?
A lot of people. I just flat out asked him. I was like, "Is this a guy or a girl?"
I never thought that at all. And in fact, that's my favorite one.
Is it?
What's your? Yeah, is yours St. Augustine or is it something else?
Ooh. It's not St. Augustine. My favorite's not St. Augustine. It's probably either Houston or Roanoke.
Houston or Roanoke. Roanoke's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Mine is Milwaukee. I like her face. I like the
juggling.
There's a rebus in it. Yeah, I just think it's super cool. Now Evie says she says, can you walk through how you figured out yours? I don't know what yours is. Got to be more specific.
Your life goal. Could you walk us through how you figured that out?
I'm living that shit right now.
Your life goal is to be on a random podcast.
Accomplished right here, my friend. Let's see. She has a chest, you boys. Oh, come on. She has a chest?
Yeah.
Hold on. Maybe that's
George,
why.
The painting he freaking owns isn't even his favorite. Yeah, well, sorry. Still time. Let me get some more.
Let me look at the juggler.
It's crazy. Like John always sends this stuff, and I keep telling him, I was like, you don't have to send me any. You don't have to give me anything. He's got a good heart.
Okay. I'm sorry. How in the world is that a guy? I guess in the well, not even. People have long hair.
I mean,
come on. That's not a dude.
It's what,
Come on. It's a female.
I think even JM thought it was a guy.
What?
Pretty sure.
Dude. There is a cicada in here, though.
Totally not.
It's not?
No. It's like,
what is it?
It's like nothing. It's like, do you know how Okay, so I don't my hair is all fucked up. I've been doing construction, so I gotta
Yeah,
wear
put
this
that hat back on, dude.
You know how like if you were I don't know this for sure. I'm just guessing right now because I don't know the methodology of this. But do you know how if you're painting something and then you paint something in a little area and you're like, I don't like that. I need to blend it. So you go and you mix more paint and the paint's not exact and then the texture's a little off. And then you take a picture of it and it doesn't look like it fits, but like in reality you can't really tell. It's sort of like that to me.
Okay.
That's the way I see it. Like it's not what you think it is.
All right.
So anyway, that's a B.
Trying to read some other questions. What's that?
I don't know. I read a comment and said that's a B. Let's see. Let me go over to Facebook. No.
Yeah, and the Farrah Fawcett haircut. That's exactly right. The Farrah Fawcett haircut, the face shape.
Mr. Underhill says no amount of puzzle solved will get you a painting, and George is the only person that has one of the paintings. Palencar still has the other 11. Yes? No, he only has
No.
9.
Mm-hmm.
Is 9 of the 10 that are remaining. No, wait, I'm sorry. 10 of the 9 that are remaining?
He has more
He's
than
missing
remaining.
2. He's missing 3, no, including mine.
Castle.
He's missing 3.
Castle Hat,
St. Augustine, and another one.
which,
I'm not saying.
oh, you know, but okay, just
I'm not saying where
protect his privacy.
it went. 100% to protect his privacy. He gave one. He gave one to a friend.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And I'm not saying which one it is, and I'm not saying who he gave it to. But it might come out.
I could narrow. Yeah, I could narrow it down.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to narrow down which,
Yeah.
like out of a couple of them, but
Yeah.
yeah, he gave one to a friend because they liked it. Long time ago too, like back in the 80s.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, way.
Oh, that's
way
cool.
Before.
Sorry, I'm reading. Trying to.
And I don't know if you
catch
could
up on
buy
some-
one if you solve it because he offered to sell the one to Brian and Andy. But that Byron was still alive back then, so that might have been why. Excuse me.
Brett, you solving and digging up the cask.
You did that?
No, I think she's asking me to describe a fantasy in which
Oh,
I
dug up a cask.
solve.
That's my fantasy. Brad digs up a cask.
Mine too. That makes 2 of us.
Linda just said drink time. We should make Linda come
Great
on
idea.
Zoom.
Yeah, where is she?
I don't know. I'll send Linda the link. Linda's always fun.
Get in here.
She might come. She might not. If she doesn't, we'll hold it against her for the rest of her life.
Yes.
No, we won't.
Oh,
She's
no,
gonna
we
take
won't.
that. She's gonna take that shit seriously. She's gonna come.
We
and
would
be
never
like,
do that.
Don't
We
do
would
that.
never do that. There was another decent question in here. Alex Sweeney. George, are you able to talk more about Roanoke paintings texture? Where else was like glass other than the scarecrow? Bro.
The window I know wasn't textured. The scarecrow wasn't textured. I don't remember. I don't remember enough to say for. Oh, look, it's Linda.
Yay.
Hi, Linda.
She's connecting to audio.
She's connecting to audio. She's our favorite. Or at least she's my favorite. I've got stuff to send Linda.
She's amazing.
I can't send it to her until next month.
Got an audio issue.
She's going to have a really, really fun unboxing next month.
We got you.
Yeah, can you hear us now?
Does that work?
What?
Are we there yet?
Yes.
Yes.
Yay!
All right, we're here. Hey,
Hi.
hey.
So
So I
what
don't
did you?
need these headsets, right?
No.
No, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wipe those away. Damn, and I got a new set of bows just for this.
So
You
what
can
did
you can use them if you want to.
what did
No,
you think
no,
of the
it's fine.
interview, Linda?
I thought it was very interesting at first. I didn't hear the intro about how it was all a joke with the writing on the hand.
It wasn't
But I
necessarily
thought
a joke. Because I told him he should write something, but I didn't tell him what to write. So I have no idea
Right.
if that's a clue or not.
Right. But still, I thought it was fun, and it took a little ease off because I was like, oh my god, what I missed. I have to admit, not being tech savvy, I got a little lost and confused because it's on different platforms and
Yeah.
there's different
Yeah.
things.
Totally.
Because I got a lot of messages saying, hey, John Jude, your question was on there, and I'm all, I didn't hear no question. What question was on there?
Yeah.
And so they said, well, go to this platform. So I had to like download some stuff and go on different platforms. But I listened, and yeah, really cool. And I understand he can't say a lot, and what he does give us, it is greatly appreciated. I got to open my beer.
Okay. That's the most important thing in this episode.
I have to go get a beer. Yeah, and if she says interview, she's got to pound that whole thing.
Shit.
Interview?
Oh,
You
God
got
damn
you
it.
have to. Damn it!
No, you don't have to chug it. I mean, you can if you want. Wow. I'm impressed by Linda.
You don't have to do that.
This is the greatest moment of podcasting
this
history.
might be the coolest thing that's ever happened in my life.
Oh, what are you drinking?
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
It's hot here.
Yeah.
It is really hot.
It's like 114 here in Sacramento.
Oh, you're up in Sac. Okay, I'm down in Oakland, and it's was
Yeah.
near 100.
Dude, it's like,
Yeah, we used to live that way in San Jose, 45-minute drive to the city. Now it's a 3-hour ride.
Oh, so
Um,
Tink is up in Sac.
Yeah, Tink is right here
I
in
didn't
Sacramento.
know that. Okay, I
Yeah.
always thought it was over in the peninsula. Bummer.
yeah,
Okay.
you live like
No,
right
we
next to
left-
Matt, right?
Yeah, so I still have to meet up with him. I was hoping to do it this week, but we had to pick up Gina's mother this weekend. So
I think he's in Texas.
I don't know when I can do it now. But
Yeah, I don't even think he's in town.
I got to meet up with him. There's a couple other people that I've met in different chats that live nearby, and
Cool.
I think I'm going to try to do like a meetup at a winery. We're a
Nice.
member of a winery. A couple of these other people are too, and we can get in
Which-
a room for a couple hours and
Which
just
one?
do a meetup and
Which
say,
one's
hey.
up there? Which one is up in Sac?
It's right off on Highway 5, so it's really easy. It's called Cali Vines. I'll give them a shout out because they make good wine and good olive
Cool.
oil.
Awesome. Awesome.
So yeah, thinking about trying to do something like that. It's a fun little place. It seems to be easy for people that are out here in Sacramento, out here in Stockton, out here in Lodi area that can't get to the city because it's a horrible commute, people. I miss the Bay Area.
It's a rough commute.
Yeah.
It's a rough commute. Now you're not doing that every day or something, are you?
No. I work from home now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm grateful and thankful for that.
Oh
that
my
I
God.
get to work from home.
Same.
But that
Nice.
started
Same
prior
here.
to the move, when my wife took ill and I had to start working from home, and that's, where I started working from home and things started changing, and then we said it's time to move. So this is where we are now, and this is it. This is Tank.
It's nice to see you in your own place that like you can customize and make your own. You guys seem a lot happier now than you
Yeah,
did,
it's
2
getting
years
there.
ago.
I got my little corner started. I don't know if you can see it,
Yeah.
but it's starting.
Cool.
And then so
Yeah.
with going with all this, you have to, this was this treasure I left, back in San Jose, so I had to
Jesus.
restock and rebuy. But I'm waiting for some friends to visit. I got everything right here.
I feel like we
That's
just found out
awesome.
Linda's an alcoholic.
The thing is, if I was an alcoholic, those would all be empty and everything.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Okay. I'll give you
The only
that.
thing that goes down smooth is beer.
I gotta get back to California just to hang out with Linda.
I'm ready. Not right now, but maybe when it cools down, because I wouldn't tell anybody to come out here right now. It is hot.
Yeah.
But it's like I live in Florida. The
No,
California heat is
Florida-
nothing to me.
No. I used
It's
to
different.
I used to live in Fort Lauderdale before I came out here, and I've lived in Hawaii, and I've lived in New Jersey, and up and down, Virginia Beach, Washington D.C., all over. I've lived in a lot of places. This is hell. This heat here is heat I've never experienced in my life.
It's
My
different.
poor lawn is dying. It's different. It's dry. That's all I can
Yeah.
say.
It's dry and it's ass kicking.
It's like being in a desert. Well, it is farmland. You know, we are out at the foothills of the Sierra, so it's the empty farmland. It's the prairie that people cross to become 49ers. You know, we're out here and it's hot. I'm sweating right now. Just, you know, I'm out in the garage because they're inside. So
Yeah.
this is my time tonight. But yeah, it's beautiful. It will build up. Things will cool down, you know, once trees start growing and everything. But we're literally in the sun 24 hours. Well, as long as the sun's up.
And we got a heat wave going on out here, like big time. I know people think it's not as bad as, you know, elsewhere, but it's bad.
It's still pretty bad.
It-
All
We're
right.
getting our
It
asses
is
kicked. Yeah.
raining. Yeah, I mean, we noticed like our lights started flickering today, and we're like, okay, we have solar, and there's still, you know, so a lot of it runs off solar, but still, it's so hot, and there's so much demand.
Right.
I'm grateful and thankful for Tink because we have air conditioning, so you know. But yes, this interview, oh my God, amazing, right? I mean, just to see John Jude sit there and give us some more advice, try to put us in the right direction. I think we're overthinking it, and he's trying to get us to go back. You know, instead of going right, you know, everybody thinks to the right. Think differently. Go to the left. Try
Mhm.
the alternative road. I think he means that on all of them now. Me personally, I think that these are because Boston kind of messed us all up in the head. We really don't know the truth of the location. So everybody's like, how did it fit? Where was it? Baseball fields are hard to dig. I've played baseball, you know. I could see, yeah, behind the fence, you know, where the little green grass patches.
I mean, like even John, I'll say with Boston, we've got the excavator saying it was right in front of home plate, and John Palencar said it was right in front of home plate. He said that on that Christmas special that John Michaels did.
Hard ground, right? I mean,
It
would
is
you
hard
expect
ground,
to even
yeah.
think of it? I would never
Like-
even expect to think of that.
Hard clay is difficult to dig. I wouldn't, but you
Yeah,
know, it is
yeah.
what it is.
It is right, exactly. It is what it is. It will help us because I think because now it's older people doing this instead of the younger people finding it. You know,
Mm.
one more needs to be so that we can get this pattern going. Show us, okay, this is how this verse worked, and yes, it was latitude and longitude, or it was the zip code, or it said Boston in it. You know, each one is going to have that. What's the next one going to have in it? Because we really don't know all of the clues. He's trying to give us all the clues for Boston. You know, he's trying to tell us, okay, there was flags. So, like I keep saying for San Francisco, nautical flags are in her dress. Now, is that coming from the Boston? You know, but what was before that? What's the puzzle image before that that has the clues? You know, I
Yeah.
think that's what he's trying to say too. Each image gets harder to find the clues for the next one. I've been studying his work a lot, and I'm finding things and learning things and acquiring things that help me. And I think that's what people need to do. If you know, don't always zoom in on these pictures. It's yeah, I love, you know, 12 Treasures and the pictures they have there because it kind of gives us that angle because these new books are horrible. But yeah, like lay it down, look at it sideways, take 3D glasses, hold it backwards, that type of stuff that we
Mhm.
used to do. You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
each one of them, and even Byron said, everyone's different. Each one is different. No two are the same. So why do we keep looking at baseball fields? Baseball fields done now. Maybe it's sports, and it might be a soccer field, or it might be a horseshoe pit. Because I've always, for San Francisco, liked the horseshoe pit area in Golden Gate Park.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, there's a picture. You know, I just found some matches there that I really liked. The Chicago one, you know, was there sports? See, I don't know the park well enough to say, is there a sports field nearby? Is there some type of soccer
In
field
Chicago?
nearby? Can you look down? Can you see
No.
a basketball court? Can you see a basketball court? Is there,
No.
you
No.
know,
Back then, I'm
In
pretty
Chicago?
sure there
Mm-mm.
was not.
There's not now. It's just a
it's
big because
basically
that's
the
where they
railroad
hold like
station.
they hold festivals and concerts and shit there. It's just a big open field.
Yeah, I'm just
They
trying to
don't
think.
play
Was
any
there
sports, nothing.
is there a volleyball court there somewhere close
nothing.
by? Or
Right.
And
bocce?
shit.
Yeah, tennis
No.
court. You know, nothing really. It's
Nothing.
a park. There was nothing there.
Yeah. Nothing.
Even
it's a,
back then in the 80s?
that's like a picnic area of a park, and it's sectioned off into square. There's nothing there. It's just lawn.
So
Yeah. It's not
would
near
people say,
Soldier Field or Wrigley.
I mean,
right?
Grant Park is huge, right? It's like Golden Gate Park, and it's sectioned off into different sections. And there are sections of Grant Park with baseball fields and with sport fields and with shit to do, but not there. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting a
So
beer.
that was-
I'm still here. Sorry. Go ahead, Linda.
Whoa, no picture.
I should turn off mine, and go grab something to drink too. And then, Linda, can you talk to the community for 30 seconds?
Can I talk to me? I think I can.
Okay, I'm gonna go grab a drink too. And
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Okay. Hi, community. It's been a while. I hope everything's going well. So no, I really liked the interview. I think John was trying to help us without getting himself in trouble, or giving away too much information.
Agreed.
The paintings, I would like to see closer, but once again, I don't think he can, because a life painting is going to show so much more detail than what we're seeing in books, online. It's like I went to the Grand Canyon once, and we all seen the Grand Canyon. Well, actually, a couple times. We've all seen the Grand Canyon and these pictures, and you're like, "Oh, that's beautiful." The first time I pulled up to the Grand Canyon and I looked, we all cried. We were like,
Yes.
pictures do nothing whatsoever to give you that feeling. And I'm sure that's what happened to George when he walked into that room. He didn't know what to do, because here's something that his life is based on. I mean, George and you guys have so much time invested and so much effort and energy. I'm sure he walked in there and it was just like, oh my God. Oh my God,
Yeah.
these are real. They're right here in front of my face, and I'm seeing things that no one else is ever going to see.
And he was being so real about it. I thought it was great. He's like, this is weird. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I have to admit, I've been in contact with Palencars. I do email them on different occasions about different matters.
Cool.
But I do not, under no circumstance with any of them, ask questions or discuss the paintings for the Secret.
Smart.
And because of that, I communicate a lot with John, and we just talk about different things. But I don't have a package coming, so I will be happy to share with the group once it arrives. Do I know what's in it? One item. That's all I can say. So that's gonna be pretty cool.
This is
So
exciting.
keep your eyes out, and yeah, I'll let you guys know, because I might want to do it live with you guys, because
Is this the package that I'm thinking of?
Yeah,
dude, we'll totally do it live. Yeah.
Let's do it live.
When's it coming in?
I don't know yet. I'm waiting for him to actually give me the phone call to give me the date with the number on it. So
he's sending out some stuff for me in the next couple of days. So it might be that you might, because he's got to go to FedEx anyway.
Right. No rush. It's holiday. Everybody wants to enjoy the weekends and do what they can with their families, and families first. And I know he's busy, and there's other things happening. But yeah, yeah.
So there's Rob asked a question, and I'm going to answer it next. But Linda, you've done a lot for this community, and everyone loves you, and I feel like you should be rewarded. So I'm going to send you something, but I can't send it until the end of the month. And when I do that, you have to promise you'll open it on Sunday Funday.
I promise I'll open it on Sunday Funday. That's nice. I never have an issue. I held on to Kit when I got Kit's. When I bought Kit's Divine Cock, I literally kept that closed in my house for like 2 months.
Did he ever explain to you what Divine Cock was?
I just know it's holy, or it has a halo on it. And
if he didn't explain it,
no, he really hasn't.
You should ask him one day.
I probably should, but I think I did, and his response to me was, "Your reason is your thought of what it is a lot better." So let's stay with that.
That is 100% true. Your thought is to what I'll tell you one day off screen, if you want, because the only reason I'll tell you one day off camera, just so you know. But your reason is a lot better than his. Rob asked if we could talk about the question where you asked if those were real people, and he asked what you meant. I asked him if they were based on real people, and he immediately took it to mean, yeah, they're based on models. But I had to explain, like, people think they're based on like Christopher
historic
Columbus or
figures
whatever.
and-
Yeah.
yeah.
And he was like, no, it's not that. They're models. Like he doesn't use photos. He doesn't, for any of his art, he has models. Like if you look at Origins, one of his best paintings, I forget the name of it, but there's a photo of him with the model like in the fetus position on a cabinet, and he's just painting from the model. That's what he does. Yeah, that painting, I forget the name of it, but there's a photo of the model just sitting on his laying naked on a cabinet. So he paints for models. He doesn't.
Let's see if I can
know
find the page real quick, because this just sits out on my coffee table. That's
That is one beautiful book.
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Linda's got like all of his books. Yeah, so there
I
she's
don't know if
just
you
like
guys can zoom in or not, or what you can
Yeah.
do for that.
she's just like sitting on top of his book. Like there's like it's not a bookshelf, it's like a dresser where he keeps painting supplies, and she's just like in the fetal position on top of it.
Let's see if I can bring it in better. Does that work? My camera.
Yeah, that works.
There we go. Yeah.
So for
This is-
people who think he uses like projections and sketches underneath and what he doesn't, he just brings a model in and paints.
This is pretty funny. So Simon said that Linda, what George is sending you is a USB pen that's shaped like a key.
No, it's not that. It's way more impressive.
I thought that was pretty funny.
I feel like Linda deserves something very special. So we're going to send her something very special.
Are you serious? Because you know what you sent me last time is pretty damn special. I don't know if everybody's seen it.
The Joellen?
This is better.
Yeah, we're gonna blow that out of the water.
No.
Yeah.
This is
Well, that was a thank you. That was a
that's
thank
pretty
you
amazing.
for something
And
very specific. Yeah, we're gonna blow that out of the water.
sorry, I had to put it back. Gonna blow that out of the water.
Out of the water.
No.
Oh, I just
Damn.
hid my video. Yeah.
I promise when it arrives, we'll set it up. If it takes a month for us to get together to work on it, to do it, it takes however long it takes. I'll keep it sealed and put away.
Okay. I mean, yeah, you'll like it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This is
It
gonna
might-
be.
It might be Kit himself.
I'm gonna send you
Kit,
kits.
I would love to meet
Penis.
Kit. Oh my god! So Kit did this awesome
Drank too
painting,
much.
right? And I love the optical in it. And he made the comment of like, Linda, you're gonna get this one too. So I texted him and I'm like, I don't know, Kit, how much you asking for that one? He's all, don't you have enough? And I was like, yeah, I think so. You're right.
Yeah.
I'll share it.
That's
Kits art's
amazing.
getting pretty famous. It's gonna get expensive soon. So might as well
It's
buy
doing
what you
really
can.
well. Yeah, he's doing really good. My spouse got for her birthday. She wants to take up art, so our friends bought her a nice art easel kit. And I actually asked Kit. I said, my wife's got an art easel, and he's all, I'll teach her. I got to get back into classes eventually, So when he does his classes again, I'm going to sign her up so that she can get some Palencar classes and
He was talking about doing that on his Patreon. I think like maybe me and you are his only Patreons. Are you his Patreon still? They still take money from me every month. He doesn't do classes yet though.
No.
So
So
I'm hoping
he
he's going to
says,
start.
it'll be taken care of, when he's ready to do classes, I'll be taken care of and she'll get a class.
Cool.
So, yeah, so I thought that'd be fun for her. She'll be able to learn from one of the artists themselves and understand maybe a little bit more of their work. Because, she's like, okay, I don't understand Shroud too much. And I was like, well, I was born with a veil. Shroud is a veil. Kind of go hand in hand. They're a religious family. It's like, okay, now I get it. But to look at their artwork, some people are like, oh, it's morbid, but they're not always showing the morbid side of things. It's just how people interpret it.
Yeah, that's
You know,
100% the best way to explain it.
Yeah, I mean, I read a lot of critics, and they're like, oh, it's too dark and morbid, but it's not. If you understood these people, Kit somehow puts religious into every one of his drawings, whether it be a halo or a cross. John does something in every one of his drawings, whether it be to the person that he's drawing it for or the feeling that he's having. But you'll see it once you start understanding how these gentlemen draw, and I think that helps us learn the paintings that they did when they were younger, because these paintings came out before they did all this work today that they're talented at. And that's what everybody forgets. They're like, oh, he did this. Well, no, these paintings were done way before that drawing or that book cover. And trust me, I've got some book covers. So I try to study his work.
I think somebody in the comments is upset that I'm sending Linda something cool.
Why?
I
just did a giveaway. Why would someone be upset? I'm doing a giveaway tomorrow. As a matter of fact, I'm giving away.
I don't think so. Wow, I don't. Where are you reading that?
A calendar. Come on.
Talking about the bias in the group? In the Facebook?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't care.
I don't know. I can't see it.
There's probably some.
I want.
Well, I mean, we're not without bias.
Yeah, well, that's true. I like nice people.
I like nice people. There's people that really give and ask for nothing in this fucking thing. And Linda's one of them. George, you're certainly one of them. And like, yeah, I got some bias towards you guys.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Maybe I did misunderstand. I don't know. It's possible.
I have no idea.
Somebody said they think I misunderstood. It's possible. It's 100% possible I misunderstood.
Hopefully that's what the case was. It was just misread.
I'm going with that.
I read text all the time. Just because there's 2 letters in it doesn't mean that's what it meant.
Sherry says she's nice and she gives. We can send Sherry something too.
All right, Sherry, we're sending you something.
Just send me your address. I probably got it. I don't know if you've done the Christmas thing. I can probably get it. Just send me your address. I'll send you something. I don't know what.
Christmas. What is it like? What are we at? August? September?
Yeah.
September.
I wanted to do the Christmas in July thing. I just didn't have time.
No. It got too busy and everything. But yeah.
Oh, Brett, did you hear about the Impossible Hunt? The Impossible Hunt's they're doing like a puzzle during the meetup. I got these gold shovels to give to people as prize.
What?
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
Okay, so here's another thing. Are you guys going to live stream this whole thing?
Yeah.
The whole thing? Because we need
as much
to
as
be
I
there.
can. Yeah, as much as I can. I told Destiny, like I've got a bunch of shit I got to set up just because I want to make a decent video, like because I've got cameras and I've got mics and stuff. So I'm going to be recording basically everything for sort of afterwards. I'll put together a highlights thing and put it on YouTube. But I told Destiny that she's going to just have to walk around with my phone. And like I've got a gimbal that keeps it straight, and she can just live stream everything.
Yeah.
Like she could do that because we're doing the like I was saying at the beginning of this, we're doing all this stuff at the Mason Lodge, but then almost immediately after the interview is over, we got to kick everybody out. So that Masons are old and we can't take up all their day. Yeah. We got to clean the place up. We got to get ready. So we're going to basically kick everybody out and then go meet at St. Francis Park, which is across the street from the oldest house. So I'll have her like live stream the meetup and then we'll like stop and then we'll go there and we'll live stream everybody together and we'll have her do like a walkthrough of the exhibit. So I'll try to, I mean, even so much as like hunters are wanting to get together the night before and we can live stream that too. We can live stream whatever.
I'm telling you the cool from people that just can't get there. The cool part about the New York, or sorry, not the cool part about the New York part, but the nice piece of it for me was that you guys streamed it. And I watched the whole thing live and it was like so cool and so touching. And, of course, Ben and Andy are like, incredible. And I love
somebody wants me to put out a schedule. Like, I don't know that I'm going to be able to do that, but
Fair folk from New York was great.
Everything that's streamed, Facebook sucks for streaming because it only streams out in 720p and only a certain number of people can see. So we're going to stream to YouTube. So my advice is to go to YouTube, subscribe. I know, I hate it when people say this, but click the bell icon because that'll tell you when we go live. It'll send you a notification. So if you're watching it, like if you're watching the actual interview portion and then we cut, you'll get a notification when we go live again. So do that, at least for right now. You can turn it off later if you want, but do it for right now.
Okay. Good idea.
Yeah.
All right. So
Brett,
what are we back to now? Is there?
Just gonna drink more beer.
Subscribe. Smash
More
that
beer.
subscribe button. Chris said.
Smash it.
More beer. I drank that one already. It's gone.
What's
Chris-
up, everybody? It's George from the Secret Podcast here telling you to smash that subscribe button.
Chris thinks he's a millennial.
I am late to the game, but are you going to have any swag available? There's always swag available. Check out our merch site on 12 Treasures.
Check out our merch. It's a merch
Okay.
alert.
So
John
wait.
sent in books. John sent in a lot of books, and we're just going to sell them there. I'm not going to sell them at the lodge. I'll sell them afterwards when we get to St. Francis Park. Like $75. They're signed books with a couple of signed prints. He's sending me a decent amount of them too, so like the community should have
Nice.
access to some later.
I had a whole bunch. Now mine are all gone now. So I'm gonna have to get more so I can give more away. I like giving them away. Origins is a great book to give away.
Yeah, especially signed.
Yeah, signed is really nice. I think everyone I've given away has been signed. But yeah, keep us posted on that meetup. So what am I drinking next?
Well, I don't know.
More beer?
I'm the only one with bourbon, and I've drank a lot of it. So,
Oh,
because
yeah.
people have said interview a lot. And I've tried to
is that
keep up.
the magic word?
Yeah, that's the
Interview?
magic word.
We had a drinking game
So-
going on here.
So, all right, since you're drinking bourbon, why are you not drinking a mint julep?
Because I'm not a girl.
Wait, dude.
Those are actually really good, dude.
I know,
They're
I know.
not
And I'm the kind of
good.
guy that drinks like rum runners and shit.
I
No.
drink frou-frou drinks.
Yeah, I
Wait a
love
minute,
fruit drinks.
okay.
Yeah.
My question is, George, do you know what a mint julep is?
No. I don't
Okay,
like,
so
I don't, number one, I don't
Rum.
like mint, and I don't like
No.
preparation.
Juleps.
okay, a mint julep is you take crushed ice, you pour a shitload of bourbon into it, and you muddle up a little bit of mint, and you throw it on top. That's a mint julep. It's great. Why would that be a girl drink?
Wait, what is it again?
Yeah, see, you take your bourbon,
Yeah.
a glass of crushed ice.
Oh, it's bourbon. Okay.
Here, ready?
You're gonna make one.
I'm gonna make one.
You're gonna make one
Nice.
live.
I'm gonna make one live. All right, so we're gonna take out a glass. Oh, I don't have mint.
Dude,
Nope,
Brett,
I can't make one.
Do you
you
have
want to know
julep?
something historic happened. So
Nope.
Facebook or YouTube recently gave us the ability to have members, which I don't quite understand, but I set it up anyway. And we just got our first one.
Facebook what?
Or YouTube. On YouTube, you can have like members. People can sign up to be members of the. I don't know exactly how it works, but we just got our first one, and that's awesome. I don't know what it
Nice.
means, but we got a member. His name is Jeffrey Spell. Thanks,
Nice.
Jeffrey.
Thanks, Jeff. Awesome.
Welcome,
Yeah,
Jeff.
so I don't have no mint, but I got plenty of bourbon. But yeah, no. So you take mint, muddle it up in a glass, a
Okay.
couple pieces of mint, throw your crushed ice in there, throw a crap load of bourbon in there, and a mint on top. Stir it and drink it. It's just an
That's
ice
all it
cold
is?
bourbon.
That's
That's
it?
all it is. It's
Oh,
an ice cold bourbon. That's all
The
it is.
fact that George
Nice.
thinks that's for females is, come on, bro.
Well, I didn't know. I'm dumb. I don't know if you guys realize that.
Just uninformed. That's all. Just uninformed.
My-
Now you're informed.
My favorite drink, I don't know the name of it. I get it at this one specific bar in St. Augustine, and it's like bourbon and something else, probably like aromatics or bitters or something. And then they take this rosemary twig and they set it on fire to where it gets charred, and then they put it in
Killer.
the glass. It's so good. Oh,
So I like taking bourbon and orange. Take the juice of the orange, put it in your glass. Take
Yeah.
a little bit of the peel of the orange, peel it off, twist it, pour your bourbon in there. Take the rest of the orange after you've taken out the juice, run it around the rim of your glass, and then go ahead and light your little piece of peel and drop it in. and drink that, and those are good.
Damn.
Nice. Tim just
Right.
said it was his treat when he comes down, but he that's one thing he can't buy me because they only let locals go. It's a place you have to have it's a really, really expensive place that like snowbirds go to, and they have to pay a lot of money to get in. But when you're a local and you know people, you just walk right in, but they make damn sure you're a local before you can do it.
So
'Cause
Tim
they
can't go.
They don't, yeah, Tim can't go. They don't let tourists go unless you pay a lot of money.
Well, just Tim should just pay. Then
I
he
mean,
can
it's
go
like
with you.
it's in
Yeah.
like thousands.
So what?
Yeah, he's
Just
a
do it.
lawyer. Just do it.
Yeah.
So we
He's a
flew. We had
lawyer.
a
But it's a really good place. I've snuck in a couple of people, and also the locals like to keep it a secret.
Yeah. You don't want a bunch of people.
Just so you know where we're talking about, Brett, I have had a drink with you there,
Ooh. Hint, hint. Look at
but we don't
elements.
say the name of it. We also
Oh,
played with nudie playing cards there.
that's the
No.
place?
Yeah, that drink is so good, and it's like a $40 drink. It's
Really?
crazy expensive, yeah,
Why can't we say the name of it?
because they don't like for
They don't
people-
want us to
because remember
publicize
how
it?
remember how small it was?
We went there twice.
Yeah,
Oh, dude,
but-
it's the size of like a
a
somebody's
living room.
small
yeah,
living
it's-
room. Yeah.
It's nothing. They don't like people.
That's cool.
It's weird
Dude,
that
that
they
place
don't
is
like
great.
people going. Yeah,
We stayed up late and we got in trouble.
yeah. We got yelled at.
We got yelled at by like some
And
of the people.
it was made with, I think the reason it was so expensive, it was made with some super old Whistle Pig bourbon.
That's not what I had there.
No, you had something else.
I drank a couple of like good drinks and then a couple of beers, I think.
Because I just went in and I asked the bartender, I was like, I really like bourbon. Make me whatever you think like your favorite bourbon drink is. And he made me that. And I was like, I was blown away, and I didn't ask the name. And now every time I go, I have to be like the bourbon drink with the rosemary that you
The
set
thing
on
in it.
fire. Yeah.
The thing with the thing in it.
So I grabbed a drink after all.
Oh, nice. What do you have?
I have some Cavoursier.
Nice, nice.
Sophisticated.
It's in a
Once
lot
in a
of rap
while.
songs. That's the Cavassier.
Yeah, but it's all the Douce bottles I had to throw out that were really in song.
I don't.
That
You know
was-
what? I don't think I've ever had that before.
Douce. I actually like Remy better. I've had Louis 13, and that's really good too.
No, I mean cognac. Like I don't think I've ever had cognac.
Oh, really? Well, when you come out here to California, it's one of my favorites to have.
Yeah,
So
we do.
Yeah.
We love our
Yeah.
cognac out here.
yeah, cognac, a
of
cigar,
Tupac, right?
you relax.
Mhm.
That's what California
Mhm.
living is, right?
That's right. That's right, baby. That's how we do it.
So maybe I can get John Jude to do an interview one time.
Maybe you can get John Jude to do an interview.
Oh, that's
wanna-
2 drinks
Fine.
now. Let's take.
If we can get him to do that live thing, you should come on and help.
Seriously.
Anyway,
out
you know
again.
what's Monday? Tomorrow's a holiday. Most people are off. Let's enjoy the day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. It's a great day.
I'm not off. I think I'm meeting locals to go through that exhibit tomorrow at like 2.
Oh wow! So are they setting up tomorrow already, or is it already set up?
Oh,
the
it's already
exhibit?
set up.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. My family
Yeah.
is
We got like a camera that you can watch live, and I've been like watching people check it out. And the number one comment is people walk over to the sculptures and they go, "Whoa, those are creepy."
really. All right. So where can I see this live stream? What's it on?
Oh, am I live streaming it tomorrow?
Well, no, you said you have cameras that people can see. I mean, is that?
Oh
something
no,
you
yeah,
can-
you have to have it's like a private thing. You have to have an account. It's basically their security system. We can't.
Oh,
let
yeah.
Do they have security guards watching the whole thing?
Yeah, dude, that museum is way more secure than I imagined it would be. It's crazy. So
That's good to know. At least
Yeah.
the artwork is protected. I mean, that's congratulations. By the way, I haven't yet to officially face to face say, well deserved, George.
thank
It really
you.
is. I know I kind of saw a sneak peek a long time ago, but beautiful. Absolutely
Linda
beautiful.
Linda was one of the ones I told early.
Yeah, I was very honored, and I kept my mouth shut, and I didn't say a word, and I was flabbergasted. I told him he well deserves it, every bit of it. What you do and what you have done and where you have gotten us to. People, I defend you, and I mean, I know I don't have to, but I do have to, because people need to see the kindness in everything that you guys have done, from John Michaels to, you, to Brett, to Matthew Sparks. Oh my God, I can't wait to meet him. Meeting him is going to be like meeting you. You guys, I idolize all of you. I've done work on my own because I didn't, use technology. Now Tink forces me. My damn house tells me everything. So I have to use technology. But before, I didn't. I was literally doing it like Byron wanted, because I didn't know that this was out there. I have dictionaries. I have thesauruses. I have boxes still here I have to unpack that have paperwork in it. My wife is like, "Oh my God, woman." And I said, "Look, I've been doing this since 2006. And I used to have it on a computer at work, and then I learned that after so long, they get rid of stuff. And I've lost a lot of it. But I'm trying to build it back up. But it's because of people like you that have done this for us and have opened this up to us. I would still be sitting in what everybody considers a stone age, and I'm still working each verse to each image, not knowing where to go. And at least now we have ideas what to look for, what has been found to prove that, yes, this pattern works. We're finding this. So congratulations to you. And for John Jude
Thank
to
you.
give that to you, he is such a kind man.
Yeah,
A
it's crazy.
kind man.
Yeah,
It really is.
I had to
and it's
I had to
well
fight with his wife to buy him dinner. That was the pinnacle of how kind he is. Was he handed me that painting, and 30 minutes later we were leaving to have dinner. Right, I offered to buy him dinner while I was in town, and I had to fight with his wife. She was like, "No, you're not buying us dinner. You've done so much for us. Let us buy you dinner." And I was like, "Lee, he just gave me a painting. Please let me buy your patty melt."
right. He loves the patty melts. Give me some coffee and a patty melt, and I'm good to go. And it's funny. I have to laugh at that, because every item I own from the Palencar household so far has John's coffee stains on it.
Yeah,
I think it's hilarious. I think it's funny, and it's a great signature. I mean, even down to my first Palencar that came ahead of time. Um, my last coyote, it has his coffee stains on it. And he thought, "Yeah, those are probably my coffee stains," and it didn't make it to the book. And there's only 2, maybe 3 of those, so they're extremely rare. And I'm glad that
yeah,
you have it. And that meant a lot, hearing that from him.
yeah.
So when he does give something, it is truly from his heart, or and he tries to tell the story behind it too. What it meant to him.
It's funny you should say that. Like, he told me a story once about how Lee accidentally drank her paint water. She
Oh
thought it was
no,
coffee. So for Christmas this year, I sent her this coffee cup that says "not paint water."
that's amazing. That's great.
Yeah.
And I'm laughing too, because that one time I made that coffee cup that had the Palencar picture, John's picture on it.
Yeah.
It's nothing like waking up to a Palencar in your cup. But I
I,
guess
I,
paint water is another story.
I appreciate everything that you said about us. And I think going back to what, like, a lot of hunters have said that there's sort of favoritism in the community, and there 100% is. And the favoritism works like this. When the podcast team started out, we didn't work alone. Like back in the days of Quest for Treasure, nobody, like a couple of people lived in the respective cities, but everybody else was working together, and the people on the ground were just the diggers or the people that would go and take the pictures, right? It was one team who openly shared everything. And that's how we went into the explosion of the community, right? We went into this as, it's still one team. We will freely give out everything we have. And we've seen other people who are the same way, and they freely give out everything they have with no expectation of anything in return. And those are the people that end up being favorited or whatever, because they're not doing it for recognition. They're not doing it, to dig up a cast themselves. They're doing it for the benefit of the community, and only for the benefit of the community. So there is a little bit of favoritism.
When I first started this in 06, I was buying my RV. We got a new job. We kind of moved around a little bit. You know, not physically moved, but our job was moving and everything. And I was like, I need to find an activity out here. You know, I've been out here a few years now, fishing, you know, camping and everything. But I want to go rock hounding. You know, out here it's gold country. I want to find my chunk of gold.
Yeah.
So I was looking for treasures, and that's when it had just recently been found. So I was like, California, you know, treasure hunts is where I started at. And then from there, I ended up finding The Secret. And I'm like, wait a minute, there's something out here. So I was doing all this without ever knowing anything than the research I was doing. And then I have to be honest, I first stumbled on the computer. It was probably 2012. So now I'm already 6 years into this on my own, you know, with all this paperwork and writing notes and whatever. Not knowing that there was an actual book out there anymore, you know, because I couldn't find, you know, the secret book. There was none available. So I was going through, and then I found PB Works, and I was like, oh wow, there is a community out here. So that's kind of where I realized, oh, there is a community. And then I learned there's Facebook because of work, had to sign up for Facebook. And then I found you guys, and I don't know how many years it's been now, but yeah, it's what the whole book is about being. It's being kind. We're not going to find this as an individual. It takes teamwork. It takes everybody's work that has come behind us, and it might take new ideas of people just now coming in to kind of get it to meld together and say, wow, yeah, we did miss that. You know, we haven't seen that forever, and we've been looking right at it. You know, like John says, there are things that we're not seeing. We're too focused on one area, and we need to broaden it, tilt it, turn it, curve the page, you know, hold it up to a mirror, put a candle underneath it, you know, whatever you think you want to do to it, that we did in the 80s. You know, but yeah, it is the podcast and 12 treasures. And I suggest anybody that wants to be part of this and really understand what's going on to go to your site. And it took me a month and a half, but I listened to each and every podcast, and then I read stuff, and I researched that way, and it helped me gather my spots. Yeah. So yeah, it's a lot of work out there that you guys have done, and it needs to be appreciated and shown.
It was so much easier back in the day when you could just listen to all the podcasts, but now there's all these Sunday fun days and shit that everybody's gonna watch.
Okay, so I really need to ask you, the one that had me the most was where I guess you were sitting on the beach with your dog, and you're sitting back, and all I can picture, because at work all I can do is visually hear. I couldn't watch it. You're sitting back, and it sounds like you're on the beach.
Yeah.
The waves are rolling. You got your dog with you, and you're smoking a cigar, and you're just like, oh, it's just so nice out here, you know. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, you're just like chilling on the beach, smoking a fat stogie, probably having yourself a cocktail, your dog's running back and forth, and life is good.
He's like, my name's George.
Yeah.
If you hear the sounds of the ocean, you know it's in motion. You know?
That was the result of a lot of drama.
Yeah,
it was like a bad day, and I was like, I'm just gonna go to the beach and record a podcast episode.
I thought it was cool too, because you were like, dude, I'm just gonna do this live thing, or not live. I'm just gonna like record this, not edited thing, and I'm gonna throw it up. Yep, it was great.
Yeah, it was a great one. You know, I think everybody needs to listen to it, because we're getting a lot of, 12,000 people. We're getting 12,000 of the same comments, 12,000 of the same reactions.
Kind of true. Kind of true.
Just people, please just take a few minutes. Look, that, and it took me years to learn this too. There's a little magnifying glass up in the corner. If you hit that, and then you type in the word, all right, I want to know what John Michaels had to say. Put in JM or John Michaels, and everything from that person will come up. You want to see, one of my videos, what did Linda do today? Put in my name. You want to see one of John Jude's podcasts, put in John Jude, and anything with his name that George has tagged or shows, it will be there for research, and it saves us, the admin, and us people that have been part of the group longer, a little aggravation. I mean, we're not supposed to get aggravated, but it does happen, and because it's repetitive, and with 12,000 people, and now, something's going to happen, and it's going to air again, and we're going to get more. You guys are going to get more people. We just need to, say,
so
hey,
know how to contact Josh Gates.
Who?
Right. I feel like there's this sort of like sentiment out there, and it may be just a few noisy people, so it cuts above the crowd or something like that, that we're like out to get them, or
Yeah.
we're gonna delete their comments because we don't. God, we're just
No.
not like that at all.
It's
We're
weird because we get two different sides of the coin, right? We're either trying to we're playing favorites and we delete anything we don't agree with, or we
right,
delete
which we
things
don't.
because we want to steal them. And it's
We
like you
don't.
got to pick a side.
No.
Do we either hate your stuff or do we love it? Like which one? And plus,
We're
like
just
I
trying
got
to
a job.
moderate a
I
community.
don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just trying to, like, maybe people don't realize that it's like not super easy to we're 99% of the stuff that I do is, and I'm sorry I'm not on camera, I had to step outside real
fine.
quick, but is to protect people who post things that I know from experience for doing this for 5 years or something like that, that are going to get blown up, right? So I may come in and look a little skeptical, or look
Yeah.
like I'm criticizing unnecessarily or something like that, but really I just don't want, I don't want especially new members to feel like they got bum rushed. You know what I
Right.
mean? But I'm not, I don't want to do it in a way that looks like I'm trying to protect them. You know what I mean? So we're constantly kind of like sitting on this fence where we have to placate a bit, and we have to nudge and do things, and we're definitely not out to get anybody. Shit. I want to see new ideas. I do. I don't want to steal them. I want to think about them and use them for my own things that
Right.
I'm just solving,
Yep. How does it broaden what we already know? What does it open up another door? Oh, you
Totally.
see this in the image, we've never seen it. Let's open up that door. You know, um, yeah, I agree 100% there.
And do we come off a little set in our ways sometimes? 1000%. And listen, guys, we do that because we're just people, and we're just,
And we're biased to our work. I mean, you guys have put in years of work.
There's no conspiracy afoot here to weed out something, or
No.
we're just people that have our bias. We have our biases. We have our ways that we like to do things and think about things, and we're not out to like get anybody or like steal anything, or we're not trying to like. We're certainly don't. We love new ideas, right? We just sometimes when you see a new idea, it's so outside of the box that you know that they're going to get pounded on. So you try to, you know what I mean? You try to, what do they call it? Herding cats. You try to herd you soften it a little bit, and then it comes off as if you're trying to, so I'm not like complaining or saying this is some difficult job we're doing at all. We're just having fun, right? But the point is that I would love that people remember that we're just people. None of us have found a cask. I would love to, yes, I'm coming in with my own biases. I try to leave those at the door the best I can. And I am truly trying to foster an environment of fun, and not get people just pounded on. You know what I mean? And this is a fine line you walk a little bit.
I mean, there's been times where I posted things and I either miswrote it or it was misinterpreted, so it happens to everybody because we are only human, and we are trying, or you guys are trying to protect what you have created. 12,000 people, that's a lot to manage. I have a page and I've got 126, and I'm like,
Ooh.
yeah, that's a lot of people, and how do I keep these people entertained, and what do I do to keep them part of my page to say, hey, I like to watch what Linda does, and I like to do fun and games and stuff like that. But you guys are doing so much more. You're doing the boots on the ground. You're doing the meetups. You're doing the podcast. You're doing, hey, what do you think about this today? Or let's take polls and whatnot. And
well, I'm not, but George in the
but
group.
you guys collaborate. You guys get together and you put your minds together and you come up with these different ideas and subjects and everything.
I think something that people forget too.
Name Constant Painting. I want to name that Wind Song. That's what I call it.
Your
In
wind
Charleston.
song stays on my mind.
Well, because it's like the butterfly and the flutes are in the two arches, the flute reeds are there, and the butterfly, and it's just like, I don't know, the fairy dancing, her swirling up. It just, I don't that came to me. So that's what I call it. I call it wind song.
Okay, so this is a fair comment. Sorry,
Uh-huh.
did I interrupt, Linda?
No, go ahead.
I'm sorry if I did. Okay. Daniel Perez said, the trepidation for a lot of us is that you can see the people who haven't done the work but want to answer the questions. So I think what he's saying is like, you can, we have some know-it-alls in the community.
Yeah.
We have some people that sit in the group all day and kind of like police the thing. And probably there's some feeling by everybody that we have some favoritism towards them. And no, we're just kind of letting the thing do its thing.
I mean, what
Right.
sucks for me is like, because, and you too, Brett, because we're moderators, we're not allowed to have opinions, right? Because people can't separate that shit. People can't separate a moderator doing moderator jobs and then a moderator having an opinion. So like if I disagree with somebody, all of a sudden I'm trying to push a narrative or some shit. Well, no, I just disagree with you. Like my opinion on the matter is no more important than your opinion, right? I just disagree. I don't know.
There's a dichotomy here at afoot that is, when is it okay to be Brett and when is it okay to be a moderator, and do those things conflate? And people probably see that and take certain things that I do as I'm like putting the hammer down, like unnecessarily. Sometimes I'm just expressing my own opinion. Maybe I just, if I'm being self-reflective, maybe sometimes I just need to be better at saying, hey, this is me being a moderator right now. This is not my, my personal opinion, versus like, hey, this is my
help.
Probably not. I think
Because you like, just like
there's
you
not much nuance.
when somebody gets banned, I can tell them all day long that there's a group of like 10 people that have to vote on this shit, right? For everybody that gets banned, there's a group of like 10 people that has to vote to ban them.
And a lot of people say no, and some people say yes.
So yes, but it never fails. Once they get banned, they go into another page. George is a huge asshole and has just removed me because he, because I got too close, because I know too much, and it doesn't fit his narrative. It's like, dude, what the fuck?
That's
Seriously.
the other thing. We're not worried about people knowing too much. We would love for you to know too much. We would love for you to come in and like be a like, holy God, I've got this thing, and for it to open up this huge, door for us. We're not policing that at all,
So like the UK, like they just released this new coin for like, I don't know, 700 year or 75th year or something like that. And it was a riddle. You had to like spin the coin and decode it to make it open. And no one solved this in like hundreds of years. It took like 14-year-old like an hour to solve it.
Yeah, I saw that article.
Right? So maybe that is what we kind of need. But they also need to kind of be kind about the way they come in too. I know, a lot of pages. The first thing is, do not come in saying you solved it, because we've all solved it in our own mind. We're legends in our own mind. Every one of us have solved all of these, but only 3 of us out there have a key. You know what I mean? So, like you said in the interview, only 12 of us are going to be correct. Only 12 of us, whether we do it as a group or individuals. There's only 12 keys out there to be found, and then it's over with.
What's that 1% of the group size now? Is that 1%? Is 1% of 12,000?
No, it's like
Yes,
0.1%, isn't it?
0.1%.
Because 1% of 12,000 is 1,200, right? Is that no?
Never
I'm
said
whatever.
You
I'm not good. No.
You're better than me.
John
So
Williams.
that interview went really well.
John Williams asked us what gets you banned. It's really hard to get banned in our groups. As much as it doesn't look like it, it is really hard.
It takes being a rooster. You guys are up to a lot. I think in one of the websites, the other pages, I ended up saying that George, and I laughed about it afterwards, and I didn't mean it in a bad way, but I was like, George takes more crap than an outhouse. And I'm like, why? Why do people have to poop on George all the time? You know, it's
I'm an
like,
easy target. It's fine. It's because I don't
unfair.
care. It's
Why do people
100%
poop
what
on
it
you,
is.
dude?
Because I don't respond. I don't give a shit. Like I'm weird. I grew up like I had a great childhood, but we were not in a good place like financially, and like we lived in shit houses, and I grew up with this like punk rock ethos where I just don't care what people think. Right? I just do my own thing. And you can talk shit all you want. It doesn't affect me one way or another. So I don't respond. So people feel like people think because people think because you don't respond, you're getting to you. So they just keep going. I don't know. But like, I'm an easy target because I just like, I don't care. Talk whatever you want. Everybody can have a negative opinion about me if they want to. I'm going to keep going. I don't give a shit. So
I have a question.
Yeah.
Like, isn't today like National Beard Day or something like that? I saw like something from Brian Mills. So if it's National Beard Day, congratulations to all you guys with beards and National Beard Day.
Beard today?
Yeah. Beard. Don't you have a beard?
I do, kind of.
Do you have
It's
a? Yes,
patchy.
you have.
And gray.
I had one about
hair,
it.
right?
I had
got
one
gray
about an
too.
hour ago.
Oh, you
That's
shaved it off?
it grows in totally gray. Now I don't have a ton of gray on top, but the gray is like here and
Yeah.
growing in here, and it would just be this weird mess of me. So I decided to not grow anything.
Well, I have to give a shout out to Brian Mills because he's got one of them really badass beards.
Those are awesome. I really appreciate
And I think
those.
it was him that posted, today was Beard Day, and he's got one of those long, just nice, well-manicured beard.
Terry Haddix said the best comment, and I sent Brett a picture of this in the mod group the other. Terry Haddix said, "Because you forget George makes trillions, he doesn't have to care." Now she said that it was very obvious it's a joke. I made I sent this to Brett the other day. Let me see if I can pull it up and put it on screen. Like the amount of money and shit that I spent.
Oh yeah, you showed that because you posted what is made, and it's like nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing.
Well, you haven't seen his Swiss. You haven't seen his Swiss bank account yet, though.
That's true.
Once you see,
one that doesn't say George Ward on it.
Once you see his Swiss bank account, his retirement account, and all his offshore stuff, it's sizable. It's like
wait a minute.
$15.
Is it right? I was going to say 25. It is about. Shh, I got this. So hey.
So okay, all right. So I went. Can I put this over here? Yes. Okay. So everybody else can see that. Good. So just as a rundown of this, just so everyone else can see it, the John Jude Palencar interview has had 2,000 views, which is
nice.
Is a decent amount. Yeah. In order to do that, I had to buy plane tickets, rent a car, stay for a week in another place, drive to Cleveland, take John out to dinner, and fly back. Like this probably cost
you were going
me like
there
$3,000.
anyway. You were going there anyway because
I wasn't. Rachel was
going to go. So take 5% off the top of that.
Yeah, I didn't have to pay for lodging. That's about it.
You had to buy that little car. You had to buy that car that went across the map.
Yeah.
And that the airplane thing.
It has made a grand total of $12.70.
Boom.
That's a great interview.
Millions of dollars.
She said
millions.
That's the way every interview should be.
$12 whole. Where was the one? I wish I could pull it up. Somebody bought a hat and I made $1.11.
Okay, so I have a question because I have a lot of merch, and I went up the other day because I wanted to get a pair of sneakers. What happened to your sneakers? We don't have 12 Treasure sneakers anymore.
Oh, they went up. They just went up too high. So when I made merch, like the idea originally, me and John Michaels wanted 2 shirts. We wanted one with my face on it that said "dig" and one with his face on it that said "solve." Right, and we started looking for a place where we could manufacture that, but we didn't want inventory, so we didn't want to order anything. So we looked for a place that would do print on demand, and print on demand places are really expensive. So basically, like, we set the prices for the print on demand stuff to where we only made back like 50 cents or $1 or whatever on everything. And then the shoes, they were already like $65. And I think we made like 75 cents on a pair. But then they just went, like, after COVID, they raised their prices on everything, and they just went through the roof where we were going to have to charge like $70 or something. So I was just like, screw it. I made a special pair for they said fuck cancer on them for somebody who had beaten cancer. But other than that, I just, I took them all down.
So how are your Crocs doing? Are you wearing your Crocs, or what's up with those?
Not my Wu-Tang Crocs. Those were awesome.
Yeah.
Nope. No, they're runners.
Hey, just so you know, Sherry made a great point. Dude, you didn't have to pay for the dinner.
Right?
mean,
That's true.
Really?
That's true.
I don't know.
Sherry's
That was
awesome.
just-
Sherry should come on. Like, Sherry, come on Sunday Fun Day.
And
One
then
day.
Terry
Maybe so.
said flying first class up in the sky, G L A
M
M
O
O
R
R
O U
O U S first class.
Up in the
So that's what
sky.
Terry said.
First class
Nice.
is great. I never did it till recently. We took P and Pete with us, and he got us into right. It's great. He got us into this little I guess when you fly first class, there's these rooms that you can go into, and you get like free food and cocktail for like hours.
Killer.
We've been
We
doing
took
this
little-
forever. We don't have to keep going if you guys want to stop. Whenever you, because I could do this all night long. Whenever you
I
guys
can do
want
it
to
all
stop,
night
just
long.
tell me.
My mother-in-law, well, at
So it's
least
up to
until
Brett
dinner's made. It's only
Well-
6:45 here.
I do need to go, but Rachel said I have a beautiful voice. So Rachel
Nice.
was
Rachel's
licky.
watching. Wait,
No,
not
it's
Ron, not
Wazlicki.
Rachel. Oh,
So I think we probably
You
should go
too.
on for another like 3 or 4 hours. Is what
Okay.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
right now.
you should release
Um,
that EP you did with a band back in the day. The one that sounds like Soundgarden. Aren't you singing on that one?
Yeah.
That was good, dude.
You like it? Remember
I
Rachel
did.
said I hate this.
Yeah, but Rachel likes really weird music, so
I got a story about Boston.
The band?
You know, yeah.
What
They
about
used
them?
to they're from like the area I was born and raised in, and they
Boston?
used to live across the street. Yeah, Rockbrook, Boston.
Hmm.
And they used to live across the street from us, and they used to babysit me. And I was there one time, and they were babysitting me, and we're in the basement. And back in like the 60s and 70s, there were these horses that you would ride on, with the springs and everything. So we're down in their basement because in New England you have basements in your home, and they were all practicing, and they're jamming and everything. And I'm riding on the horse, and next thing I know, their amp blew up, and the basement was on fire.
nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
and they used to use a coffin, not a coffin, what do you call it? A hearse was their first vehicle that they used for transporting cars. But yeah, to the band Boston, if any of them are out there watching, they know the
They're not.
Spalding quite well.
Well, the lead singer passed away.
Yeah,
And I saw them right after they were on my bucket list for bands to see. I saw them play with Night Ranger,
okay.
Boston Night Ranger. And his daughter is the singer now, kind of like Eddie Money.
Okay. Nice.
But dude, I don't care. It was so good. It was
Right.
such a great concert. I love Boston.
Sam asked what's really
were
weird
good.
music. I shouldn't have said Rachel listens to weird music because she just listens to pop. And I just think that's really weird music because I am actually the one that listens to really weird music. So when she plays like the radio and it's Doja Cat, I'm like, this is weird.
I
That's
don't
the
mind
meme.
Doja Cat.
Really?
Yeah. I know that
There's-
sounds weird for me to say, but I'm kind of a Doja Cat fan.
Somebody asked if having Copper Dan is still on the show, is still on the table. I would love to have Copper Dan, but I heard he stopped talking about and he stopped talking about Forrest Fenn, and I don't, if he's taking a break, I don't want to bother him with it.
Right.
If anybody knows him, if he still wants to talk, like I guess I can send him a message. But
Who's Copper Dan, the Fen
The
Guy
Finn
that
guy,
solved the
the
Finn
really
thing?
no, he didn't solve it. He was super nice. I actually
The guy
I
that
messaged
Fenn
the
gave
guy.
the thing to. What? Huh?
I messaged the guy that solved it and asked if he wanted to come on once, and he was like, "Nah."
Yeah, he's
No,
been staying.
I don't know if we've had enough Fenn in our.
Well,
in our
my
lives.
thing was I wanted to know like what happened after Fenn, just so we could avoid that shit with the secret, because I kind of saw the same craziness happen after Boston, because Forrest Fenn went down in flames. Like it's horrible how bad it crashed and burned, and I just kind of wanted to avoid that.
With the secret.
I
Yeah.
don't think the secret will ever have that.
Well, we
I don't
don't.
think we'll ever crash and burn like that.
Technically, it's not our choice. You
Well,
know?
it was 100% the people who stream for Forrest Fenn. It was their fault that it went down in flames, in my opinion. Anyway, I kind of want somebody, because like once Forrest Fenn ended, you could tell, and I'm not talking about one set of streamers by any stretch of the imaginations. And there's a huge network of Forrest Fenn streamers, right? And after Fenn ended, they could have taken that hunt in any way. Like they didn't know the answer, so they could have kept working on Forrest Fenn. They could have sort of memorialized the hunt. They could have, talked about experiences. They could have done anything. But where they went was conspiracy town. And they went into lawsuits, and they went into this is fake, and they went into trying to pry shit out of people and like attacking the dude that found it. Like they went into a really dark place. And they took the legacy of that hunt and just pissed all over it. Like it's bad now.
Simon said the 2 court cases were won by the Fenn estate, and a total of $300,000 awarded. I think $300,000, 300 grand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
333,000.
people were nuts.
Yeah, it was bad, and like I feel like the streamers. Oh, I have a monster. The streamers sort of like set the tone of that hunt, of the Forrest Fenn hunt, and they took it down a dark path. And I get why, because like you're on YouTube, you want your shit to continue, your hunt's automatically over, you don't know where you're gonna go, you don't know what you're gonna do. Like I think Calazars did a good thing where he was like, I'm just gonna start talking about other hunts, and he did well. But he just made the wrong choice. And they just took that whole hunt into a dark place.
It ended sadly. I mean, I was I was new to the Forrest Fenn hunt after the secret, and I was starting to get into it. And I was like, all right, maybe I could buy the book. I've read enough online, did enough research and everything, but I'm missing things obviously. And then I'm researching and I'm getting into it, and then I'm following the pages, and the pages got a little kind of rough, like people say, it happens to, the secret pages. I think that's just a common thing within hunt. People have put so much time, energy, and effort into it that they want to stick with, this is what we know. I know you're new, but follow this,
Yeah.
And I think that helped me also with the secret was, all right, calm down a little bit, take it easy. I still like my ideas, but be open to everybody else's too. And I did. I opened up to everybody else's and said, oh yeah, what, kind of go off. So I work with a lot of different people on the secret, but poor Forrest, he thought he was going to die, and then he lives longer, and now he is dying. And the last thing he wants is for this treasure to be found. And all on his pages is talking about how he wants to, give away clues and do this and do that. And all of a sudden he meets with someone, and then that person goes and finds it. So it did give it a bad name, but I also understand he wanted to see it found before he passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is totally understandable.
And that's up to him because he's still alive and it's his treasure hunt, so he can do what he wants.
Yeah.
But Byron is gone, and this is Byron's treasure hunt, and we need to respect Byron and stop pounding poor Ben and Joe Ellen and John Jude and even Kit, because Kit's part of it too. What do you know growing up? It's a treasure hunt. It's
he put, just imagine if one of the secret casts was found and all we learned about it was that it was found with no explanation. That was Fenn to me. But to me, that's almost an ideal situation.
I've thought about that.
For Forrest Fenn anyway. Not for the secret, but for Forrest Fenn, you've only got one treasure, right? Yep. And what you learned when Forrest Fenn was solved was the area where it was. So you can work backwards from that and spend the next 2 years trying to figure out how to get there and how the pole works. And...
Okay, what's worse that or the way that Boston was presented on EU, where they totally manipulate. So would you rather not hear anything about it, or would you rather have it be totally basically misconstrued and misrepresented through some recreation that they did only for TV?
And then you guys spent 3 years fixing it.
I'm telling you, EU kind of screwed us over from a lot of that stuff, because everybody that saw that thought that solve that he put together, probably Krupat put it together just for the show.
No, so we have to give Krupat a little bit of credit. He was very honest with Expedition Unknown about what he didn't know, and the things he didn't know was what are the Green Tower lights. He didn't know what the 5 steps were, and there was something else that he didn't know. And Expedition Unknown was just like, we got to fill in these blanks.
We got to put those together, right?
Yeah.
So okay, so there was a little bit, but he fast forwarded to the end. Let's just look. I think it's 100% in this ball field. Right. I think
he was honest about that too.
It's going to be a bulldozer through. Yeah. And I'm not saying he wasn't honest about it. I'm just saying like how it got solved. Right. So what would you rather have? Like a bulldozer go in and find, like for Fenn's puzzle, you narrow it down to the size of a baseball field, and a construction crew is going in there in a week. Right. You see what I'm saying? So like you go, hey, I think that this big famous treasure is in this baseball field size area in the Sierra Nevada mountains or whatever. When you go in there, if you could keep an eye out for a gold doubloon, if you find a gold doubloon, that means you probably hit the chest, right? And then that person like, what you see what I'm saying? Like, there's some give and take in between, like how these things ended and what is the best case scenario.
I get, and if Forrest Fenn's ending had went a different way, like if the people had set a different tone for it, I think obviously things would have turned out differently. But like the way a lot of people got mad at the parks because the parks wouldn't tell them exactly where that treasure was buried. They were like, if we tell you exactly where this treasure is buried, you guys are just going to come in and trash it. Right. And all the hunters were like, no, that's not going to happen. We're going to memorialize it. We're going to visit it, and we're going to drink our wine, and we're going to be happy, and we're going to sing Kumbaya. And then the hunters found out where that place was. And what immediately happened was somebody went on a chainsaw and cut down a tree that was in like the picture of it, and just fucking stole an entire goddamn tree. Like they did exactly what the park said they were going to do. They just went in and trashed it.
And then just to follow up, Jeff said Boston on EU was worse. Why not just tell the detailed explanation? It's very simple. Ratings. They don't want to tell you the truth. They want to make it into this dramatic thing about this last minute thing, and then the this and then the that, and they want to add drama to it so that they can sell commercials or sell advertising time. They need eyeballs watching it, right? So the more dramatic they make it, like that's why they didn't just tell the truth. And fine, it's TV, it's cool. You know, the problem is that you've got how many people? 100, 200, 300,000 people behind the scenes trying to figure this thing out. I just make that number up, right? We know it's at least 12,000, but right. You see what I'm saying? Like we're all going, wait, we need to know the fucking truth because this is really important to me, because I can take some of these things and apply them to the one that I'm working on, a la San Francisco, Linda, right? And maybe I can learn something here, but instead they misrepresented it somewhat to make it better for TV. And then and then you get people that just watched that, came in and said, oh, well, then all of the cities must be spelled out in the paintings. People that were brand new, right? That
but it doesn't have to be.
Oh, San Francisco's in here somewhere. So suddenly you had all of these people finding San Francisco written in the blocks and the thing, right? So I'm just saying, like, they sort of made it more difficult.
They made it harder, Michael Aris asked, was EU's depiction really that hated in the community? And not really. Like the episode, people really liked the episode. People really liked the way it ended. What happened was people who didn't agree with that area, who were like, some people base their like their self-worth. I said on that interview, people base their self-worth on this puzzle. So when they're wrong, they try to shoehorn shit or try to say people are lying or whatever. So when that didn't fit with their ideas and they were unwilling to change their ideas, they created a lot of drama about it.
Right.
And they started nitpicking every little thing. And when half of the episode's clues or whatever are made up, it's really easy to nitpick and like use that to shoehorn in everything else is fake. So it was a small group of people who created a whole lot of drama about it. And that drama still persists to this day.
For ratings.
Yeah.
Ratings.
I mean, it's a TV show, you know? So
yeah. And I get it, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we do that a lot here. I mean, we're making so much off of sponsorships and commercials. We really have to,
dude.
I mean, we made $12 last year. So like, we've got to really, you know, beef
How
up
did
the
that song
drama.
go? I have to show something because I'm saying its name.
I'm really
Oh,
excited
wait, no,
because
that's
people
not the right song.
joined. I'm really excited because people joined membership. I'm gonna look up how much that gives us per month. I think it's like $4. Oh shit! I just
Yes.
inserted an ad on YouTube. God damn it! I clicked the wrong button and I'm making them
Oh,
watch
dude,
an
we're
ad.
rich. We're rich. We're gonna be rich.
What
Oops.
is the ad?
I
That's
didn't
the
mean to
question.
do that. I didn't mean to do that. Oh,
We're rich, bitches.
I
Oh my
inserted
god,
an
it's
ad.
so funny. Too funny.
All
But
right,
yeah, you
dudes.
know,
I need to go
Forrest
pretty
Fenn just-
soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Forrest Fenn, what?
He just, you know, he kind of left a bad name in treasure hunts, I think.
Yeah.
And now we need to, I mean, I watched this armchair treasure place with Jen, and they've got incredible stuff they're showing every day. Someone's finding something out there in this world. Treasures are out there to be found, you know, and it might help to look for other treasures while you're trying to do the secret. So that way there you learn the history also and what's in your neighborhood or state, or, you know, help you learn other puzzles.
I wonder how Fenn got so popular.
It's $1 million.
Think it's all about the
Yeah,
money?
It's all about the
Yeah,
money.
it was the money. I think it was more the money. And then you guys were becoming popular secrets. So, you know, when you put in treasure hunts, it would come up the secret, it would come up Fenn, and then it would come up a couple books, you know, what to look for. Like in my area, there's a couple, you know, supposedly gold buried around here, and you know, stuff like that. And then, you know, for our country.
Yeah.
It's hot.
It's the money. I'm sorry
But,
I
you know,
inserted an ad for the YouTube guys.
What's that?
I said I'm just really sorry that I inserted an ad for the YouTube people.
Can
Like
you take it
YouTube
out?
comments just stopped.
Are you serious?
Because everybody's watching an ad.
Cool.
I'm really sorry.
They're gonna miss all the good stuff. Let's talk
Oh,
about all the
no.
let's quickly talk about all the good stuff.
Right, let's just
Yeah.
make pretend like we know everything.
Yes.
Wow, really? So that's where it's at, huh?
So that's where the cask is.
Wow. So,
Yeah,
all right.
right,
Thank
Linda?
you for showing us that picture. Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm glad I showed you that picture of the cask.
I did not see that, you know, because I have this 2015 print, and it's just horrible. But being able to see that from you,
I
and
mean,
knowing that it came from George, which was at John's house, it has to be real.
and we can't show it ever again, right? So that's the whole idea of it.
Oh, so I'm glad I took a screenshot.
Yeah.
No screenshots allowed.
Not that I know how to do it.
So we're done now. We all want to go to bed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I
I
wanna
gotta
go to bed.
eat is what I gotta do.
Yeah, that's what I have to do too. It's 7:00 dinner time.
I made dinner for
Um,
Destiny, but I haven't really eaten yet. I made it's the most southern food I've ever made. It's salmon patties. It's something
Oh,
my
dude,
grandmother
good
used
the
to make,
first
yeah.
day, but after that, throw them out. You don't eat them all, get rid of them, because
Mhm.
tomorrow they have a whole new odor.
Yeah,
All right,
throw those
so
out
we will
tomorrow.
get out of here. Thank you,
All right.
thank you, Linda. This has been a lot of
Thank
fun.
you.
Thanks,
having me.
Linda. It's fun
And-
having you.
We'll see you when
And
you
it
get
was
your
great
present.
being here, and I appreciate it. And I will let you know when the package arrives.
Okay. All right.